Welcome everyone on this Friday evening to Blytheville, Haley Field and Chickasaw Stadium. We are here for the first week of high school football in Arkansas, and there is the opening kick between the Blytheville Chickasaws and the Osceola Seminoles. Opening kickoff taken back to about the 40-yard line by LaFay King, and the Chickasaws will start this 2018 football season with pretty good field position. Hello again, everyone. Andy Manus, Ryan Short here with you this evening, and thanks so much for joining us here on Facebook Live, here on Tubetown. Appreciate you sticking with us on this Friday afternoon and into the early evening. This is going to be an exciting game between these two non-conference opponents. Ryan, this is a rivalry game that Blytheville has dominated for the last 4 years. They've won the last 4 games by a total of 121 points. Last year, they got away with a 29-21 win. After that win, that set off the Seminoles. They dominated their conference, reeling off 8 wins in a row, and largely due to their defense. You see them step up right here the first play of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to call this the classic 5A, 3A3 matchup, but this is something we've come accustomed to. And, you know, for Osceola, they come in as the underdog. They come in as the 3A team, but under Coach Robert Hooks, they've had this newfound faith and commitment to the defense and being able to just light a fire on this team. And we know they had success last year, so I know they're going to want to step off on the right foot in 2018. Great opening play right there for the Seminoles.
So 2nd and long coming up, 6 seconds left on the play clock, and the Chickasaws will get the playoff back to about the 40-yard line. But, oh, what was the ball carriers? He took a lick at the end of that play.
Yeah, I mean, hard running. I mean, I love the intensity. The last 2 weeks we've been privileged, as you see it on the Ritter Communication replay right here. Solid hit coming in there by Dan Newsom for the Seminoles. But we've become accustomed so much these last couple of weeks of this the competition basically that we've seen in Northwest Tennessee, and it's good to be back in Arkansas for their opening kickoff here on Friday nights. Especially
starting off with a rivalry game. In fact, Osceola, a lot of their rivals live here in Mississippi County, obviously. This one here on 3rd down. It's going to be a 4th down now after the quarterback taken down for a loss. So the punt team coming out.
Yeah, you know, talking to Coach Robert Hooks, something he would say is that they graduated a lot of seniors from that team last year that had a lot of success. I mean, they ended up going 11-3, made it deep in the playoffs. They would have eventually seen their crosstown rivals in Rivercrest in the finals if they would have got past that semifinal game. So great opening possession right here, defensive possession that is, for the Seminoles.
Punt is away. Nice spiraling punt. It'll bounce inside the 40-yard line and roll back the other way. The Chickasaws fall down on it at about the 49-yard line. The referees got them spotted at the 50, and Chickasaw started off at their own 40. Osceola's doing better by 10 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't expect to come out. I mean, we hit the ground running here at the start of this broadcast, come out, nice little kickoff, and I mean, we said it from the very beginning that the intensity, the atmosphere, you can tell that the people in Northeast Arkansas are hungry for some high school football. And not only at the high school level, but college. I know Arkansas State has their home opener tomorrow, so you can just feel the buzz in the atmosphere.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to step on you, and it's because we're having such a hard time hearing because it's so loud in this stadium. Dropping back to pass, stepping up. Now at the 50, the 45 swallowed up by the defense, but not before he's able to pick up 5 yards. Willie Bell on the tackle there. Jarique Scales on the carry.
Great just scamper for yards right there, making something happen out of nothing. He's able to pick up positive yardage, and it looks like just being able to improv off his feet is going to really be able to get him going.
Scales now with a little screen here on the near sideline. A juke past one defender and ran into another. Now 3rd and short coming up after the completion.
They're going to give him another couple yards on the play. We're going to say it's a gain of 2. First completion of 2018. Little pitch and catch there from Scales to Moore.
So 3rd and short, we'll see what the Seminoles dial up here. An empty backfield for Scales. 5 wide receivers, 3 on the left, 2 on the right. Defense bringing pressure. They're going to jump off sides. They're going to gift the Seminoles with 5 yards and a first down here in the Battle of the Braves.
Hey, that's very heads-up play calling. You know, that's something they must have preached pre-game coming out, that Osceola is going to come out very disciplined right now. That's something that Coach Hooks has sort of implemented in the Seminole team, and it's good to see that everyone is on the same page. Not a single one of those young linemen on the front right there even budged.
So 1st and 10 now for the Seminoles, just outside the 35-yard line. Again, an empty set for Scales. Defense bringing about 7 guys. Flag is down. Thrown out in the flats, caught and brought down at the 45-yard line. Great open field tackle out there by the Chickasaw defender. This one is probably going to come back, though.
Curious to see what the penalty will be right here. Maybe, I believe it's going to be going against Osceola. They may have had illegal formation or something along those lines.
So head referee making his way out to make the call now. So you brought up Osceola playing Rivercrest last year. You know, Osceola 11-3 last year, all 3 losses by a total of 17 points. So the games that they lost, easily they could have won. They could have had an undefeated season last year and could have easily wound up playing Rivercrest in that championship game.
Yeah, that's something that you just sort of heard echoes through the 3A3 conference last year, is that as the penalty came in, it was encroachment. But that's something you sort of heard whispers of in the 3A3 conference, that their conference was a little bit soft last year. And it sort of led Osceola to have a chip on their shoulder, especially Rivercrest, who essentially made it to the conference finals. They ended up falling just short.
So now 1st and 5 after the penalty. Scales with a handoff, trying to find the end around across the 35, hurdles the defender, tiptoes the sideline, and dances out right at the 30. A long way to go to pick up 1 yard, but he made it look good. Watch on the replay here.
Yeah, good little end around play right here. Just nowhere to go right there for the Pool as he cut the corner, but good field awareness to be able to at least get a few yards. They're going to give him just 1 yard, but he definitely earned it.
And D'Anthony Poole on the reception there. Now 2nd and 4 coming up for the Seminoles. Poole playing tight end right now. Scales in the backfield. Stanton Burks standing on his left. Chickasaw is adjusting their defense. Scales now rolling out to the left. Facing pressure. Fires it. Nearly intercepted at about the 15-yard line. Fell right at the feet of a Chickasaw defender, and Seminoles catching a bit of a break there.
Yeah, good design rollout right here. He had a man open. Unfortunately, just the delivery of the ball was right there between 2 receivers. You could tell, I think Scales was the intended receiver right there, but fortunately he knew the route running behind him, so that sort of led his hesitancy to throw up his hands and try to make a play on it.
Greg Hooks standing out wide alongside Jeremiah Tobar out there on the left side, but
the flag on the play, encroachment against the Chickasaws.
And another penalty against Blytheville.
It'll be 1st and 10 Osceola with a 25-yard line.
I want to take a moment here. We had a typo on our score sheet. So at quarterback for Osceola right now, that's Carl Miner. We had a wrong number down, so we misquoted a second ago. And his intended receiver, like we were speaking of a second ago, is Scales. We just wanted to make that correction real quick.
Pass out wide to Hooks. He had to go up to get it. Brought down just short of the first down marker, but another penalty flag. Back down near the 30-yard line.
Yeah,
let's see if this is a late hit on the quarterback. Nope.
No,
looks like it was a hold.
Yeah, it came out at the end of the play. I think that was big number 50 right there. That would be Keyshawn Scales for Osceola that just got a little bit too much jersey right there, and he got the defender wrapped around. So that's going to be their first penalty for the evening.
So 7:51 left to play here in the first quarter. Each team has had 1 possession. Osceola still on their first possession here of 2018. 3 penalties so far here on this drive committed by the Chickasaws. Now Seminoles committing their first of the ball game. 4 wide receivers set here for Miner. Burks standing in the backfield with him. Chickasaw switching up that D again. They're going to bring 7 down linemen. Burks now switches sides. He's going to switch back. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Low snap and another flag. A lot of dirty laundry coming out here at the beginning of this one.
You know, it's been a long time since we've seen high school football in Northeast Arkansas, and it's good to see that the referees didn't forget the little yellow flags in their pocket either, because we've certainly got our share dose of them here at the beginning of this game. And I want to just mention something very interesting, alignment there, having Birch jump from the left of the quarterback back to the right, basically seeing if they're man or zone coverage. If a Mike linebacker is wanting to shadow him, he would typically change his position, but that's giving a lot of information for Minor when he's back in the shotgun.
Minor is a senior for the Seminoles. He's ready to take the snap here on 1st and 20. Looking to throw, steps up in the pocket. Facing pressure, he's going to tuck it, take the hit. Makes it across the 35-yard line, but will be dropped at the 34. Didn't pick up very many yards on that scramble. Kind of a busted play.
Yeah, you like to see the intensity after he first made contact with the Chickasaw defense right there, but unfortunately it kept him on his feet that he ended up taking an even bigger lick. Trying to see who that number is. I think that was basically a host of Chickasaws in on the tackle, but good yards after the first contact.
Empty backfield. Minor going to stand in the pocket, takes a hit, tosses it up. Brought down inside the 15-yard line, and that's Travion Moore going up to make the catch in coverage.
Great athletic play. You see here when he dropped back, Minor took a huge hit on the play, but basically just told his receiver to go up and make a play. Great catch right there by Moore in double coverage, being able to wrap it, get on his back, and you can see the enthusiasm. Seminoles know that was a huge play for them.
So now 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Ball is spotted at the 13-yard line. Play clock is sitting at 10, 6:40 left to play here in the first. Bit of a wildcat formation here. There's the snap, a run up the middle, and that play's going to be stopped short. Cam Turner on the carry.
Yeah, and that's one kid that we had heard about in the pregame, talking to a few of the coaches. They are going to try to utilize him in a few different these awkward sets tonight, so I don't think that'll be the last time we call his name for sure.
So 2nd and 9 coming up after the 1-yard gain. And again, it's Cam Turner in the backfield ready to take the snap. Bobbles it, looking to throw, tosses one into the end zone. Fade route is brought in and caught by Greg Hooks. Hooks with a beautiful over-the-shoulder grab and a great throw by Cam Turner. He had to pick it up off the turf, but he got the most of it there.
Look here at the Ritter Communication replay. He was a little bit just off of his game, but he threw a perfect pass to the corner of the end zone right there, only throwing it where his receiver can get it. Great presence of mind to get the ball up in the air like that, but also field awareness by Hooks to know that he was going to be the only one making a play on that ball.
Looked like he drug his toe and everything there at the end of that as he was in the corner of the end zone.
Osceola fans traveled really well into this game, and you definitely heard them right there on that first touchdown of 2018. Goodness gracious.
And another flag out on the field.
Against the Chickasaws once again. They've racked up. I've got 4 penalties here so far, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter. I mean, we can attribute that to just first game jitters. I mean, it's essentially you're hoping to come out and your team has composure and they have their feet about them, and butterflies are going to happen though. So a few penalties here on the first drive. I mean, I'm not going to say that resulted in the 6 points, but it definitely it gave them the benefit of doubt because we saw that huge first down conversion that the Seminoles got on that encroachment call.
Kenyon Troop standing in to attempt the extra point. Kick is up. Looked like somebody got a fingertip on it, but it went through.
Young man put his toe behind it.
So 7-0. Osceola leading Blytheville with 6:02 remaining here in the first quarter. A 12-yard touchdown pass from Cam Turner to Greg Hooks to lead things off.
you live. We put you first. Introducing You First Banking, only at First National Bank.
Andy Manus and Ryan Short welcome you back to Blytheville, where the Osceola Seminoles have struck first here in the Battle of the Braves in 2018, 7-0. Cam Turner tossing a nice little fade route to Greg Hooks, and they lead this one by a touchdown.
Yeah, if you're following us right now on Facebook Live, Tubetown, sponsored by Ritter Communication, we appreciate you stopping by, spending some of your Friday night with us. Here goes the Chickasaws.
It's Amani Christensen. He's going to take this one to the house, but flag is down at the 34-yard line, and everyone is going to have to reel in their excitement a little bit, as this one is likely coming back. One of the Seminoles signaling that it's against the Chickasaws, and now the head official throws the holding penalty as well. So all the celebration for not here, and the Chickasaws are going to have to try to do it on offense.
Yeah, I gave him a little bit of life, and as I was saying before, he busted off that long run that eventually is going to come back. I appreciate all the people that are stopping by on Facebook, leaving a comment. Let us know where you're from, where you're watching from. If you have a son, a cousin, anybody that's out on the field, make sure you let us know as you see that whole play right there on the Ritter Communication replay. So I just want to say hey to Derek Jacobs. I see James Bickham's in the chat talking about Tracus. I actually spoke to Tracus before the game, and you know, Osceola last night, their junior high team was playing against Blytheville, and it was the first time in Tracus, he said in 8 years that the junior high team has beat Blytheville, and that was a big notch in his belt, and he really appreciated the coverage that we're going to be doing tonight. Miss Harris, or excuse me, Mr. Harris, Mr. Williams, we appreciate y'all stopping by and of course spending some of your Friday night with us.
4:57 left to play in the first quarter. Chickasaws back out on offense. Didn't really get to talk too much about the Chickasaws last time. They went 3 and out. Jaheim Carter, senior, in at quarterback. 2 wide receivers with a back in the backfield. He'll take the handoff across the 25-yard line, swallowed up by that defensive line. Now 2nd and about 7 coming up.
Man, Osceola's defense, their front 4 right now is just causing absolute havoc right there on the offensive line. We've seen 4 consecutive pass plays, one busted pass, 3 attempted runs, but right now just Osceola's front. I mean, I'm looking across that line. I see Scales. I see big Jalen Alexander right there at the nose guard position, and of course we've got J.C. Ugold as well. That they're handling right there in that 3 front that they've got going on.
Well, you were looking at the same 2 that I was looking at, Jason Ugalde and Jalen Alexander, the 2 seniors on the left side of that line, and there's a big hit from the safety. Somehow the tailback stays on his feet, and that's actually Jaheim Carter taking it up the middle for a first down. Paid the price for it, though, as you'll see here on the replay.
I mean, they're swapping licks here in the early going. Good tackle, but, I mean, just the presence of mind to stay on your feet right there by Carter. I mean, that was a great persistence and keep pushing after the first hit at the scrimmage.
Third play here this drive. This will actually be the 4th play here this drive on 1st and 10. Another run to the right side between the right tackle and guard, and again pushed backward. There's Ugalde and a couple of more Seminoles in there.
I mean, they're swapping lick for lick right now, and he's getting met at the line of scrimmage, but just great forward progress right there. He's going to end up getting 2 yards out of the play. So 2nd and 8 coming up for the Chickasaws.
3:20 left to play in the first as Carter's getting a signal from Fisher over here on the sideline. Coach Ben Fisher. 23-20 in his time here at Blytheville.
That's something that Derek Jacobs is saying on Facebook right now, that penalties is not something that he's going to take light in here on the Chickasaw sideline.
A hard downhill run that time for Jermel Woods, and yet again at the end of that run he pays the price for it, as you'll see here on the Ritter Communications replay. A nice run, breaking tackles, but right here at the end takes a big hit. Did pick up 11 yards though, so again it's 1st and 10 for the Chickasaws. Now inside 3 minutes left to play in the first.
you see Coach Fisher down here. He's giving this official on the near side an earful. I don't think he likes how this first two possessions has gone for his team. And
here comes a blitz from the Seminoles. The tailback is able to scamper through the middle, finds a hole, and again it's Jermel Woods who picks up a few yards. Now 2nd and 1 coming up.
Yeah, he was just able to get skinny right there and get through the hole and pick up a solid 8 yards.
At the 40-yard line.
Carter with Woods standing in the backfield, looking to pass. He's flushed out of the pocket, looking to throw, tosses one to the end zone, got a man, leaping, and he could not make the grab right through the fingertips of Corey Weatherspoon. How about that throw, though, from Carter?
God, there was not a single butt in the seats when that pass went up. Everyone here on the near sideline for Chickasaw Nation was standing up as you see the pass all the way into the end zone. I mean, he threw that a good 35, 40 yards to get it into the end zone, right through the hands. I mean, that's a play. If you expect any high school athlete to come down with that catch, you're out of your mind. And the fact that he put himself in a position that he had the chance to make it, absolutely unbelievable.
And the great part about that, his man was covered, but he still put it where only his receiver could get it. The defender never even turned to find the football. Now 3rd and 1 coming up, shotgun formation. There's the handoff to Woods. Woods jukes a man in the backfield and makes his way out to the 35-yard line, enough to move the chains once again for the Chickasaws. And now they've got a little bit of momentum going, and they are threatening to get inside the red zone with 2 minutes left to play in the first.
Yeah, they've eaten some time off of this clock here in the first quarter. Once again, I want to mention, if you're with us watching on Facebook right now, Andy, I need to let you know that James Bickham's watching, and he says he loves you and you're killing it. All right, brother? So he's always here to support you.
JB, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Miss Savannah, just to let you know, this will be on replay tomorrow on Ritter Communication. Tonight, we're just going to be live on Facebook.
1st and 10, a great catch out there on the far sideline by Kylan Wells. I don't know if we got a replay of that one, but take a look at this diving grab by Wells. Great throw on the run. Perfectly high-pointed and brought in for a catch. Now 2nd and 7 coming up. I'll mark it at 2nd and 6, excuse me.
Unfortunate that was only a gain of 4 yards, because that was a great play right there.
Perfect back shoulder fade throw by Carter as well, and once again he had to make that throw on the run. Looking to throw again here on 2nd down, rolling out, takes another shot towards the end zone. This one's kind of a duck, but his man comes up. Oh, cannot make the grab. Referee says incomplete. Great adjustment by the receiver, Weatherspoon, trying to make up for that one he missed in the end zone moments ago. But watch how he has to come back to find the football.
Do you ever be in an elementary school, like out in the playground, and just having a whole group of young guys over on one end, and you just throw the football and see who's the tallest kid to see they can reel it in and catch it? That's what that play looked like right there. Unfortunately, nobody was on the receiving end, but you have to believe if the Chickasaws keep getting chances like that deep down the field, they're going to have one of these big plays break open.
They've got a 3rd and 6 coming up with 1:05 left to play here in the first quarter. Again, the Chickasaws trying to even it up in the first football game of 2018. Carter with a new tailback in the backfield, 4 wide receiver set. It's an option play. Carter going to take it himself, and he slips. Tried to make a cut at the line of scrimmage, and he fell for a loss of 1. So now 4th and 7 coming up. And an interesting decision in the hands of Coach Ben Fisher. Do you go for it here?
Absolutely.
I think you do.
As much as you've been driving and you've just been pushing the ball and having successful plays, I wouldn't be surprised right now if the Chickasaws come out and try a hard count and make this a 4th and 2 instead of a 4th and 7. But look for, I would say that would be my call right here, and see Coach Fisher to call some type of timeout to make sure he regroups and gets his team on the same page.
Too far to punt, or excuse me, too close to punt, too far to kick a field goal. They are going to go for it. No hard count attempted. Tossed out to the flats. It's intercepted at the 21-yard line. The Seminoles, Dan Newsom, coming up with the pick.
I think that was a great play call right there to get to the far side. The only issue I have with that is look where the ball was lined up on the right hash, and you're asking your quarterback to throw it all the way across the field. That would have been a completion in the scorebook for maybe 10, 12 yards. That was a 30-yard pass, though, across the field. So turnover right there for going in Osceola's favor.
First turnover of the game comes with 44 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Seminoles back out on offense on their own 28. Minor with a tailback standing to his right. It's Stanton Burks. Burks going to take the handoff. Lost his helmet. Oh, he lost his helmet inside the 25-yard line, knocked back for a loss. How about the Chickasaws coming up with a big defensive play there?
Man, I mean, that was a scary play right there. First of all, great pursuit right there for McNeil by the Chickasaws to blow up that end and basically make that a busted play. But as soon as you see that helmet come off, it's not Jason Witten about 12 years ago when he scampered for about 12 yards against the Eagles. This is completely different out here.
2nd and 13, low snap taken by Minor. High pass. Oh, he had 2 receivers who nearly had a chance at that. It went off the fingertips of Jariq Scales, and Travion Moore also had a chance off the tip. Well, it was a little further out than I thought it was actually for Moore, but either way, 3rd and long coming up now with 25 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Chickasaws, they come up with a stop here. That's a big, big defensive effort. I want to pat your guys on the back for that. Low snap, handed off to the man on the end around. Finds a corner, makes his way out of bounds at the 25-yard line, but a flag thrown down at about the 21 with 20 seconds left to play here in the first quarter.
We're going to have
a little bit of pushing and shoving over there.
Yeah, we're going to see. They ran into a ball boy on this near side, but hope to see that he's all right. Looks like it's going to be holding against Osceola.
If so, that will, I believe, be the 3rd penalty called on them here in the first quarter. So again, both teams with a little bit of laundry to clean up as we go forward. Marking this one off. It is going to go against the Seminoles. So now 3rd and even longer coming up. Backed it up all the way to the Seminole 12-yard line. Empty backfield now for Minor with 5 wide receivers. He's got 3 here on the near side, 2 on the far side, and 7 men coming up front here for the Chickasaws. They've got 4 men backed up deep in coverage. Nearly intercepted, threw that one kind of in a triple coverage area. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Jeremiah Tobar.
Yeah, if
kind of threw it out there in no man's land.
Yeah, if Dye would have had his head up and would have been making a play on the ball right then, I think we would have definitely seen a pick 6 as it just sailed over the intended receiver.
Bring up 4th down and 26.
So again, big defensive effort there by the Chickasaws. Going to get the ball back with 16 seconds left to play here in the first quarter after throwing an interception near the red zone.
Corey Witherspoon and John Johnson deep to receive for the Chickasaws.
2 men back deep to return here.
Great kick.
Excellent kick. Oh, that one, I don't know if a fair catch was called for or what happened, but the defender was all over the Chickasaw return man, Corey Witherspoon. Called for the fair catch, ran into him, and no penalty called. It looked like he kind of muffed it there at the end, but either way, Chickasaws are going to have it at the Seminole 45-yard line. 10 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Carter going to get another chance. Let's take a look at the replay here. See, there's the call for fair catch. He muffs it, though, but still is able to fall on top of it. But that should have been a penalty, though.
I mean, as many as we've seen tonight, you think they would call that one as well, but that was just a bang-bang play right there to happen. I mean, the result is still the same. It's going to still be Chickasaw football at the 40. They're in Osceola territory starting out.
At the Seminole 45-yard line, Carter looking for the play. It'll be Woods in the backfield alongside it. 3 wide receivers. Corey Witherspoon lined up all by himself here on the near side. Let's see if they take a shot here at the end of the first quarter for Witherspoon. There's the handoff up the middle for Woods. Woods churns his legs and makes it across the 40-yard line down to about the 38, and that should end the first quarter, and it will.
Tackle made by DJ Newsom.
So a bit of a seesaw matchup after the first 12 minutes here in Blytheville. The Chickasaws trailing their rival from down the road, the Osceola Seminoles. Your score after one is 7-0. Osceola leading Blytheville. We're back with the second quarter of action. Right after this, you're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
You've got a lot of choices when you buy home furnishings. There are many reasons to choose Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
At Hubbard & Hope, you'll find a great selection of furniture, appliances, bedding, and electronics with outstanding service, 6 ways to finance your purchase, and free local delivery.
Plus, you'll get a great deal every day on name brands you know and trust.
Great deals, outstanding service, and free delivery. You're going to love
Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
Welcome back to Blytheville. Start the second quarter between the Chickasaws and the Seminoles. Andy Maness and Ryan Short alongside with you. Make sure you follow us on social media on Facebook and Twitter. Search for Tubetown online. And I'd like to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by First National Bank and Hubbard & Hope Furniture. 2nd and 3 coming up for Blytheville here to start the second quarter. Nice little run by Jermel Woods to end the first quarter. Picked up about 7 yards. And now let's see if the Seminoles, or excuse me, the Chickasaws rather, could keep their momentum going here from the first quarter. Woods with a run around the left side, just short of the first down marker, but he does pick up about 4. Now 3rd and 1 coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a great first quarter right there. I think both teams have some positives to take away from that first quarter, but, I mean, if it's anything like the game we saw last week, so much can happen in such a short amount of time. So I really expect that we're in for quite a matchup tonight. 3rd
and 1 coming up. Ball spotted at the Osceola 36-yard line. There's a handoff to Woods. Woods looking for some room to work in between the center and the guard, and I think he found it, able to pick up a first down, moving the chains further into Osceola territory.
Gain of 3, it'll be 1st and 10 Chickasaws, ball at the 33-yard line.
Got the ball spotted. Now the clock will continue to run. Still in the first minute here, the second quarter. Again, the score 7-0. Osceola leading. Blytheville has turned it over once through an interception near the red zone last time. There's a hard pump fake shot down the field at the 5-yard line and into the end zone. Touchdown. The Chickasaws take a strike on 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line, and it pays off. And now they're an extra point away from tying this one up. What a pump fake to get the defender a step off the wide receiver, and what a grab.
Yeah, we've been talking about it all night, those deep passes down the field. Eventually one of them is going to pay off, and a great route that was ran right there to be able to get open downfield and just simply catching the ball and running right into the end zone. That's all it really took.
Amani McChristian, the receiver for the Chickasaws, he was the one who took that kickoff back earlier in the first quarter that was called back due to a hold. Extra point on the way. And that one is through the uprights. We have got a tie ball game here in the Battle of the Braves with 10:59 left to play here in the first half. Your score 7-7, Blytheville and Osceola. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
The Jonesboro Advertising and Promotion Commission welcomes you to the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival. This year's festival kicks off Friday, September 28th with the 2nd annual SCA Steak Contest and live music from Fuel. Then Saturday, it's the 10th annual KCBS Sanctioned Barbecue Contest with $10,000 in cash prizes. Then Saturday night, Smash Mouth rocks the Ritter Communications stage. Hey now, you're an all-star. It's the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival, September 28th and 29th, presented by the Jonesboro A&P Commission.
Andy Maness and Ryan Short welcome you back to Blytheville, where the Chickasaws have tied it up 7-7 with 10:59 left to play here in the first half. And while this place has been so loud, I think we can finally hear each other talk.
Absolutely. I mean, it's quite a relief we've been grinding through this first quarter, and now that sort of tempers have been toned on both sides, I think it's just going to ramp this thing. Oh goodness. We were already ramped up to 10, but we're fixing to move it to about 11 or 12.
I think we are, and referees blew that one dead. I don't think that one ever hit the turf. It just looked like the two return. Oh, they called for a fair catch.
Yeah,
there, so
the closest
a little more
back
sense.
called a fair catch, and he ran back, and he was the one that ended up coming down with it. So they're going to blow it dead, and I mean, Osceola's going to get the ball to start at the 19-yard line.
Their own 19-yard line. They've found the end zone, obviously, once in the first quarter, a 12-yard touchdown pass from Turner to Hooks. Now Blytheville rather, tying it up, a 33-yard touchdown pass from Carter to McChristian.
I love that both the bands have the tribal. I mean, sometimes we go to bands and they're playing like pop, top 40 songs, but over here you get the traditional, the fans get into it, and it gets the momentum going for both teams.
Here's Minor. He fakes the end around. He's going to take it himself across the 20-yard line, makes it down to the 21. So now 2nd and 8 coming up here for the Seminoles. They're, again, taking no time to get back on the ball. But, again, you see here on the replay, Minor not scared to keep it himself.
Yeah, I mean, just great read option play right there. Kept it up the middle. Something we've seen is great pitch and catch right there. Great pursuit defense, but something that I've seen multiple times for Osceola is the snaps are coming off the turf every single snap. He's having to pick it up and to improvise just a little bit. As you see the completion right here to the far side over to, I think that's Travion Moore that caught that ball.
Yeah, Moore with his 2nd catch of the game now. 3rd and short coming up. See if the Seminoles are going to, the Chickasaws rather are going to bring pressure. They adjust their defense. A man goes in motion. Toss out to the flats. It's a screen nearly picked off. Great job by the Chickasaws jumping that route, and I think that's Mike Williams out there for the Chicks disrupting that one.
Man, that's great anticipation right there by the Chickasaw defense. And, I mean, you see so many times like bubble screens, just screens that are set up from the running back breaking out of the backfield and linemen getting downfield to help. Most of the time, yards after the catch are what's going to be your bread and butter as far as passing yards are concerned. But if you ever get one of those chances where a corner or even an outside linebacker is on their toes and they're able to just anticipate that pass, that's just as easily a pick six for the Chickasaws right there.
So now Seminoles looking to punt this one away. Oh, they punt it right off the up back. Oh, no. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. It bounces inside the 10-yard line, and just like that, the Chickasaws have got it 1st and goal.
The up back right there is going to be Cam Turner, just the talented young man that we've talked about already tonight that has that touchdown pass. But unfortunately, it looks like his punter just ran up on him and shot it 8-ball corner pocket, and it ended up going backwards.
That is without a doubt a Sports Center not top 10. Can we submit that now?
Clip it.
1st and goal, Chickasaws at the 5-yard line. 9:56 left to play here in the 2nd quarter. I just can't believe that.
I mean, that turns the whole structure of this, what we've seen so far, a quarter and some change so far, and that's really unfortunate for Osceola. You think they had a few things going there in the first quarter. They were able to get a 3-and-out defensively their first stop, and then sort of drove the ball down the field in their first offensive possession. But that's really except for a few holding penalties that we've seen on offense, that's really their first big miscue. I mean, swapping lick for lick, because Blytheville has an interception of their own.
Looking to throw a fade route into the end zone, and Carter looking at the referee like he wanted a pass interference. Said, "Hey, man, that guy's holding my guy's jersey."
Yeah, and I think Coach Fisher on the near sideline was echoing the same thing, that he thought there should have been a penalty on that play, but I mean, that's a safe play. Call 1st and goal, put it on the ground right now, and just punch it in. I mean, it's as much enthusiasm, and just the Woods has been an absolute force on the ground so far. I'm looking at 8 or so carries already for him. There's no need for it to go anywhere else but him right now.
Yeah, good defense there by the Seminoles. Bumped the receiver off just enough to disrupt that rhythm, and Carter threw it just a bit too far, but 2nd and goal coming up now from the 5-yard line. There's the handoff to Woods. Woods, it looked like he was able to shrug off that initial hit, but the referee seemed to think that stopped his forward progress, so he stopped it right at the 5-yard line. So now we've got a 3rd and goal coming up.
Yeah, something we've seen from Woods so far. He's got just the great ability to be able to get into the hole and make a read of where he's supposed to go, but he also is getting his shoulders parallel to the ground. And what's happening is when those linebackers are hitting him, he's bouncing right off of them, and he's rolling forward. If you remember oh gosh, what was it, 5 or 6 years ago, Michael Dyer in the national championship game when he had that play where he rolled over. I mean, that's the type of running we're seeing right now.
There's the option play, and Carter takes it himself right up the middle and got hit by a linebacker. It looked like he might have been able to maintain his balance here, but he gets it inside the 5-yard line, and now we got a 4th and goal situation coming up from about the 4. So we'll see what the Chickasaws want to do here. They're all looking at Coach Ben Fisher here on the sideline. Clock reads 8:50 left to play here in the first half. About 13 seconds left on the play clock, so they'll have to get to the line here momentarily and get things rolling.
Be curious to see if they come out with a hard count right here, trying to get just it'd be half the distance to the goal, but it'd be a first down. Play clock's at 1.
Yeah, 1. Yep, it runs out. See if they got the timeout off.
They did.
They did.
There's a timeout on the field.
So the Chickasaws used their first timeout of the first half. They've got 2 remaining. Osceola still got all 3 of theirs. We got a tie ball game here on our hands, folks. 7-7 is the score. 8:30 left to play in the second quarter. We'll take a quick break alongside with them. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live, local from Ritter Communications.
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
Andy Manus, Ryan Short back here with you. 4th and goal coming up for the Chickasaws from the 4-yard line in a tie ball game. 7-7. Blytheville and Osceola. 8:30 left to play in the second quarter.
Osceola's got 8 men in the box right now.
Looking to guard against that run. It's a fake to Woods. Dart into the end zone. Referee looking for it. It's a touchdown. Nice little slant pattern over the middle. And Carter has got his 2nd touchdown pass of the evening.
Look here in the E-play. We've got a great angle at this. Look at how he threaded the needle right there to get that slant pass to come through. Great defensive awareness right there for Osceola. I think that's Jamarian Vesley right there that was the DN that jumped up right there. He played it absolutely right, but incredible play call right there. But as we've said before, dirty laundry hits the field, and hopefully they're going to chat with Osceola. So this looks like this may be against the Chickasaws. I know I've seen Coach Fisher here for Blytheville on the near side. He's already taken his headset off. He's not enjoying all of these penalties that his team's getting right now.
Yeah, it's an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Chickasaws, so the touchdown will count. And they'll probably assess that on the kickoff.
Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Now extra point attempt on the way from Brian Dinkins. Oh, nearly blocked. They put it through the uprights though. 8:27 left to play here in the second quarter, and the score is now 14-7 in favor of the Blytheville Chickasaws, courtesy of a 4-yard touchdown pass from Jaheim Carter to Corey Weatherspoon. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live, local from Ritter Communications.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
Andy Manus and Ryan Short back here with you with 8:27 left to play in the second quarter. Chickasaws kicking off after a 4-yard touchdown pass from Jaheim Carter to Corey Weatherspoon.
Yeah, good to see Blytheville sort of regain. I mean, they've had a lot of penalties go against them here so far in the first half. They've tacked off some offsides, encroachments, and stuff like that. I've got them marked for 5 penalties already, but luckily that hasn't set them too far back. But this one right here is probably going to be the biggest one that's hurt them so far.
Kick taken, and it looks like it'll bounce at the 25-yard line.
It's going to get pushed even further back.
Got another penalty on the Chickasaws, as looks like we have I think a false start. I saw the referee on the far sideline motion.
Man, that takes a kick that was going to start at the 25. It's going to back them back another 5 yards. So, I mean, that's I mean, for Osceola, they're fixing to get great starting field position. Their backs to receive right now, they're standing at their own 35-yard line. So Osceola is really going to pay off from that unsportsmanlike penalty we saw earlier.
I'm just going to have to try to make the most of it. Surrendered back-to-back touchdowns to the Chickasaws as Osceola had to punt their last time out, had a 3-and-out their last time out. This time a short punt. It'll bounce near the 50, and the Seminoles don't know to pick it up. That was bouncing right in front of Travion Moore, and he just let it roll.
Yeah,
luckily, I think Cam Turner was the one to run over and fall on it.
Yeah, fortunately, I mean, he had the right idea right here. Typically, you don't want your up-backs to field that ball. Go ahead and let him and just block for him, but, I mean, that's too close for comfort right there. I mean, just a scare. Obviously, that's a coaching point you can hit on the sidelines. But Osceola's going to come out right now starting out at the 48-yard line. So, I mean, so far we've sort of seen tick for tack, interception, turnovers, long completion. So this is turning out to be a really good game. I appreciate everyone that stopped by to see us on Tubetown Facebook right now. If you're with us, as we've said earlier, let us know where you're watching from. If you have any questions about atmosphere, what's going on that we can't just show through the screen, on your phone or tablet right now, feel free to ask, and we'll try to get to those questions.
Miner takes a shot over the middle, caught by Scales at the 35, now the 30. Still on his feet at the 20-yard line, and Miner got absolutely drilled at the end of that pass, but man, it pays off for him as now the Seminoles in one strike have got it at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, they're not going to call roughing the passer here. He did take a lick right on the chin, but a good little 32-yard pitch and catch right there. I mean, it looked like a deep post route just down the seam and yards after the first contact, as we see again.
And they're ready to go. 1st and 10 at the 20. There's the handoff, running up the middle, juke to the outside, trying to find the corner. He's got it, tiptoeing the sideline. He's pushed out at about the 3-yard line. A nice little run there. I think that was Titus Harris on the carry for the Seminoles, the senior tailback.
We're going to have a Seminole player down on the far sideline.
Actually, that looks like a Chickasaw down on the far sideline. And that is right near the fence. So 8:02 left to play here in the second quarter. We're going to go ahead and step aside as well. 14-7 is your score. Chickasaws lead the Seminoles here on Tubetown. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
No matter what kind of business you own or operate, you need to keep it connected. Ritter Communications delivers the fastest business internet speeds available at a price that won't slow you down. Ritter offers reliable 24-hour service with network monitoring, along with the scalable options your business needs to grow. And we do it all on our own fiber optic network. The choice is yours, and so is the savings. Connect to something better. Call or visit ritterbusiness.com today.
Andy Manus, Ryan Short back here with you in Blytheville. Chickasaws lead this one 14-7, but the Osceola Seminoles are threatening right now. They are inside the 5-yard line. They've got it at the 2. 1st and goal.
Yeah, Osceola's driving right here. Great. I mean, as we're looking through the comments that are coming in right now, Derek Jacobs, I mean, absolute dart right there. 32-yard pitch and catch is like, it's something that we've seen so far, the ability to make those kind of throws, but now that we're getting the routes that are being run and they're in unison and they're on the same page whenever doing those types of plays is really helping out for the Osceola offense. Andre O'Lark said, get him some milk. We don't have any 2% or whole milk up here, but yeah, after that lick, that boy needs some milk.
Get him some milk, that's right. We do have play stopped out on the field after that injury timeout, but I'm not sure what the play has been stopped for, like why we are still stopped.
Yeah, when Coach Ben Fisher was coming to the near sideline, his defense was preparing to go back on the field, and he sort of threw his hands up, having them prepare. I'm not sure if there's something as far as the chain gang or maybe something on that far sideline that has been damaged that they're waiting to get fixed, but looks like Chickasaw defenders fixing to get back on the field, and we'll see what Osceola cooks up right here for a 1st and 2.
Now look to see if either team had called a timeout that maybe we missed, but each team still has the correct number on the scoreboard. The Chickasaws have burned 1, so they've got 2 remaining, and Osceola still has all of theirs here for the first half, so a bit confused there. But either way, I don't think Ben Fisher is going to argue because he wants a chance to make sure his defense knows what to do. They're about to go up against a 1st and goal situation where the Seminoles have it at the 2-yard line. So now both teams back out on the field. Travion Moore is the lone wide receiver here on the near side of the field for Osceola. And again, in the backfield, it's Titus Harris. 2 wide receivers over on the far side. Referee getting ready to blow the whistle, and it looks like everybody will be ready to go. Now the play clock has started, and Seminoles are ready to snap it. Chickasaws look like they're bringing pressure. Hand off to Harris. Harris bounces off of one man in the backfield, swallowed up by the rest of the defenders. And now Harris gets up in the face of the defender. Now he's going to walk away, and it will be 2nd and goal coming up. A loss of about 2 yards, maybe 2.5. They've got it spotted between the 4 and the 5.
Yeah, they're fortunate right there that wasn't a fumble, because Chickasaw defenders were in the backfield before he even had possession of the football right there.
Clock ticking near 7:30 to play here in the second quarter. Again, 14-7 the score. Seminoles looking to even it up here, and back in the ball game at quarterback is going to be Cam Turner. He's got the only touchdown here for the Seminoles so far. Threw a touchdown pass there in the first quarter. Has to pick this one up off the turf. Brings it across the 5-yard line and runs into a wall of maroon and white.
Once again, that snap's coming right off the turf every time, and they're just not able to get any momentum behind the ball whenever it's first snapped. I mean, we see a great throw come all the way down the field, intense running to get over there all the way, and they started this possession inside the 3. And unfortunately, a couple negative plays. They're looking at 3rd and goal right here from the 5.
Well, they started this drive at the 48, and quick as a hiccup, they made it down inside the 20. Now Turner throws a dart over the middle, and it's too high. Thrown over the head of the intended receiver. We'll see what number that is out there. It looks like number 2, Vandy James. Just a bit too tall for him, but now a 4th and goal situation coming up. This is where the Chickasaws scored moments ago. From this, it was 4th and goal from the 4. Now the Seminoles have it 4th and goal from the 5. So let's see if they can answer the call here with 6:44 to play in the half. Oh, trying to draw him off sides, and he did. Cam Turner with a hard count. The sophomore coming up big, and now they should move it half the distance to the goal.
Just another lack. I mean, you would hope that it's been reiterated enough on this near sideline by the Chickasaws that in a situation like that, they're going to come out in hard count. You have to wait till you see the ball move, and just poor discipline right there. I mean, it gives whole new life to Osceola.
Turner still in the backfield at quarterback. Marlon Vance ahead to block for him. Here comes the wide receiver. It's a run up the middle with Turner, and he's hit it as he crosses the goal line, but it's a touchdown. They've tied it up. 6:26 left to play in the second quarter. This one, is an extra point away from being tied up.
Yeah, I mean, Turner's come out both times they've been inside the red zone, and he's taken snaps at QB. The sophomore coming in, looking at some of the comments coming in, I mean, right now I am not seeing any reason why he should not be the starting quarterback and why they should not be out there with him just getting those reps with the first team, because everything he's done has been for positive yardage so far.
Yet again, you mentioned it, the quarterback having to pick the ball up off the turf. He's had to do it twice here on this drive, but that was a 5-play drive there for the Seminoles that they're capping off here, trying to tie it up. Had to kick that one through some pressure, but it went through the uprights, and we got a flag down.
I think that one's going to, I think they ran into the kicker right there. I'm not sure if they're going to call it unsportsmanlike or if they're just going to say it was running, but
either way, it should be assessed on the kickoff here, as the Seminoles probably don't want to take that extra point off the board.
You just see foolish penalties right here by Blytheville. I mean, I understand that most of them are intensity plays. Most of them are trying to do a little bit extra, but running into the kicker right there is completely avoidable, especially on a PAT.
I think that's 8 fouls I've got on the Chickasaws here in the first half.
Yeah, that's what I have as well.
Game is tied at 14 with 6:26 left to play here in the second quarter. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet, and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to rittercommunications.com.
Andy Maness and Ryan Short welcome you back to Blytheville. 14-14 is the score with 6:26 left to play here in the second quarter. And we have got a close ball game on our hands. It's been a fun one to be a part of, and thank you guys here on Facebook for being a part of it with us. It's all knotted up in the Battle of the Braves. And on the extra point, in case you missed it, the Chickasaws ran into the kicker, so that yardage being enforced here on the kickoff. So now the Seminoles in a chance to pin the Chickasaws back deep in their own territory.
Yeah, that's going to really end up hurting them here on the ensuing kickoff.
Caught inside the 10-yard line, now taken out to the 15, reverses direction, finds some blockers. He's at the 20, the 25, the 30, 35, 40 down the near sideline, and he is hit and dropped down, and they want a flag. Do the Chickasaws here on the near sideline. They say he was taken to the ground after he was pushed out of bounds, but an excellent return there by the Chickasaws.
Yeah, that's a good little 35-yard return, just reversing field. That's something we see in a lot of high school games, is that they try to get to the near sideline where their team is located. That's just how they program and how they plan for those types of returns. Usually they'll just say, hey, bring it to the near sideline every time. And yeah, as we saw there, they wanted a penalty, tiptoeing the sideline. I don't think there was any malicious intent there. So good return. I mean, it took a bad situation, and now it's looking a little bit better, considering that they could have started off with really poor field positioning right here for the Chickasaws.
Yeah, we were sitting here talking about them being pinned up in their own end of the field, and here they have it at their own 41. There's a fake on the draw. And Woods lost his helmet, taken down at the 41-yard line, and some laundry sitting between the 43 and the 44. Hopefully this one is not starting to get a little bit chippy, but it kind of is getting the appearance that
you can see
tensions are starting to rise a little bit.
Yeah, you can see after the play both teams are sort of looking at each other, and I mean, typically you're not looking across the line of scrimmage sitting there jawing like they are, but great defensive awareness right there by Kenyon Troop. He was the defensive end that was able to get his arm wrapped around Woods right there and end up tackling him at the line of scrimmage. Unfortunately, it looks like this one's going to go against Osceola.
Face mask against the Seminoles. That ought to move it up, I believe, 10 yards.
You know, it's funny. So we've been calling Blytheville for all of these penalties, and they've been timely penalties. That's what's been unfortunate. But by my count, they've racked up 30 yards so far of combined penalties. That's not counting some of the kickoff stuff just from the line of scrimmage. But for the Seminoles so far, they've had 3 penalties, and between 2 holdings and now this face mask, they've racked up 35 of their own. So yardage, penalty yardage is going to play a factor into this one.
It's crazy to think as many penalties that the Chickasaw have had, they've only all been of the 5-yard variety. Football on the ground, and Carter's able to scamper and get on top of it.
I think that was supposed to be a draw play right there where he was going to fake the bubble screen to the outside, and a very enthusiastic play fake, and I think it ended up hitting off his right knee, and just unfortunately he was able to end up on top of it.
Now 5:40 remaining here in the second quarter. Now 2nd and 11 coming up here for the Chickasaws. Got it on the Seminole 44-yard line. They're looking to the sideline at Coach Ben Turner, trying to get the play.
Play clock's already down to 8.
4 wide receivers here for Carter. He's got 3 on the near side, 1 on the far side, and it's Woods in the backfield with him. 4 linemen coming for the Seminoles. It's a screen out to the flats. Juke move, got across the 40-yard line. What a move by Jalen Dye. Just danced his way right past the defensive back.
Yeah, and he's going to pick up a good chunk of yards right there, about 8, to make this a very manageable 3rd down right here for the Chickasaws.
Oh, Nelly, can we get another look at that? Watch this move he put on the D-back. Just shook right by him, and Jarique Scales, I think you left your ankles back at the 45-yard line. A run up the middle here will move the chains on 3rd down for the Chickasaws, and they are threatening the red zone once again. Ball spotted at the, I believe, 28. Don't make that the 24. The line's mixed up there. Three wide receivers bunched up here on the near side. It's Woods, who was trying to get a little cut back there between the left tackle and left guard. He slips up right at the 25-yard line, so they'll stop him for a loss, and now it'll be second and about 12, maybe 13 coming up.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of the pace of play being increased by Blytheville right now. They're trying to increase the tempo a little bit, get things more in their favor to start. I mean, as we look at the sidelines, we know Osceola is not as deep as Blytheville, so potentially first game of the year, it's something we usually echo in the third and fourth quarter, but cramps and fatigue is something that may play into this one.
Carter taking a shot to the end zone, double coverage, and a flag comes out in the end zone. The ball sailed out of the back of the end zone. Uncatchable by the wide receiver, but kind of a good thing, as again, he was double covered. I think this one is going to be taken now inside the red zone, a possible first and goal situation coming up here for the Chickasaws.
Scales is here on the near side talking to Coach Fisher, and it looks like there was some type of confusion on the play call that was supposed to be called right there. They're getting that all sorted out, but I mean, like we said, this is the first game of the year. There's a lot of chat going on about Osceola, Blytheville. We've got some people from Rivercrest joining in and watching the game. The games tonight, you don't make your money in late August, early September. Let's see what happens October, November, and then we'll be seeing where these teams are at.
First and 10 situation coming up from inside the 15-yard line. That pass interference penalty wasn't quite enough to put him inside the 10. And now let's see what Carter's doing. He's looking to the right sideline, 8 seconds left on the play clock. Inside 4:10 left to play in the second quarter. There's the snap, looking to throw. Flushed out to his right, tries to cut back, sacked at the 20-yard line. Great second effort there by the Seminoles, and that was Keyshawn Scales, who was able to hang on. Got a hold of the jersey of Carter, and he wasn't letting go.
Yeah, just great pursuit right there, and just staying on your feet and knowing the awareness. I mean, he knew where the pressure was coming from, and he was able to evade that the first time. But when you get into these plays where you're sort of improving and just going off of your gut instinct, you're going to have more instances where you get a sack than you do a touchdown that is thrown deep downfield.
So now second and 16 coming up from the 19-yard line. 3:24 left to play in the second quarter. 3 wide receivers for Carter. There's the snap. Fakes the handoff to Woods, keeps it himself. Spun around by one defender, dropped by 2 others. I know I saw Jason Ugaldi in there and a couple of other white jerseys.
It's going to be another loss of 6 right here. And I mean, Osceola defense did not give any option besides that play right there. I mean, maybe he could have fell down right when the play was busted, but another long third down right here for the Chickasaws, and they have the possibility of getting a first down without getting a touchdown.
I got to get 22 yards to do it, though, with 2:40 left to play in the second quarter. 8 seconds left on the play clock. Wonder if they're going to try to call a timeout right here. 3 seconds left. And there it is. Coach Ben Fisher walks out, gets the timeout away. They have got 1 remaining here in the first half. Osceola still has all 3 of theirs, and they are trying to come up with a defensive stop here on third and really long. 2:31 left to play in the second quarter. We're back with more of the first half here on Tubetown. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Andy Manus, Ryan Short back here with you in Blytheville, where the Chickasaws and the Seminoles here in the Battle of the Braves in 2018 are duking it out at the end of the first half. 2:31 left to play, and the Chickasaws have it 3rd and 22 to go on the Seminole 25-yard line. Carter with an empty backfield, 5 wide receivers, looking to throw. Facing pressure, tosses it over the middle, caught at the 20-yard line, and upended is the wide receiver, taken down at about the 16, maybe the 17-yard line. And I believe that was Jalen Gunby on the reception there.
Yeah, he's only going to pick up a couple yards on the play. So it's going to be a long fourth down. Be interested to see what the Chickasaws try here. Just want to comment, this is the first time I've seen Blytheville's turf field. It absolutely looks immaculate. And then they also brought in these new LED lights. Typically when you're in Northeast Arkansas on a Friday night in late August, you're going to see mosquitoes, katydids, everything around these lights. But right now, it's really repelled the insects too, which I know everyone here appreciates.
4th and 14, shot to the end zone, taking a stab at it with one hand was the wide receiver, Amani McChristian, and he could not get to it. A turnover on downs gives the ball back to the Seminoles. But man, what an effort there by the Chickasaws. Another throw on the run, almost on the money from Carter.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to draw up how you want it, you'd want single coverage on the outside and just hope that your player can go up and get it. I mean, from the kicking that we've seen so far on the PAT attempts, I don't think they have a guy that has the leg to even attempt a field goal from that distance. So, I mean, it's either you have two options as a head coach right there. You take a shot deep or you run some type of screen draw play, and they elected for the first, and unfortunately didn't fall for them and go in their way.
So now 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. The Seminoles come back out on offense. 1:42 here to play in the first half. Carl Miner getting ready for the snap, but another flag thrown before the play is started. All start against the Seminoles, and I think that's flag number 4 on them.
You would think there's some type of repellent. There may even be like a shock on that flag because they have been itching to throw it out of their pocket so far tonight. So many penalties.
Now 1st and 15, backed up inside the 15-yard line at the 12. Miner looking to throw, takes a shot over the middle, jumped up and picked off at the 35-yard line. Intercepted by the Chickasaws, and just like that, they're back on offense. Willie Bell, the junior Chickasaw, coming up with the pick, and he had to go up to get it.
You know, this is the same play we saw earlier that was that they tried, or they actually completed to Travion Moore for that 32-yard gain, which ended up leading that possession to a score. Unfortunately for this one, the ball's just a little bit underthrown. If that ball would have had a little bit more air under it, we'd be talking about 6 points right now.
Chickasaws come back out with 1:34 to play here in the first half. Get it on the Osceola 32-yard line.
Interceptions by both QBs so far here in the first half. So
one turnover apiece. Turnover on downs doesn't look so bad now. And another whistle here before this play is started.
I think we've got some type of jersey malfunction that's going on.
I think we do. We might. Oh, the referee is pushing some.
It looks like
shoving some defenders off that far sideline.
Looks like Wells had his left hand wrapped up in his jersey. I'm not sure if I think a clip came off on his shoulder pad, and he's just trying to get it put back together.
Well, now we're ready to go here. 1st and 10 for the Chicks. Bunch wide receivers over on the far side, 3 of them near each other. One wide receiver here on the near side. It's Amani McChristian looking to the sideline, trying to get the play. Watch for the screen here on the far sideline. Nope, they're going to go for it.
That looks like a face mask right there, too.
A nice little curl route out here on the near sideline. Takes it inside the 25-yard line, dropped near the 20. So a excellent pitch and catch on 1st and 10 will move the chains for the Chickasaws.
I mean, something I've really been impressed with so far is just when you see the ball released by Carter, he's got a lot of zip on the ball whenever he's able to get his arm behind it.
Jaheim Carter, 1st and 10, hands it off to Woods. Woods brings it to the 20-yard line, picks up maybe a yard. And Jermel Woods continues to chip away at that front four of the Seminoles. That front four started off this game very well, but we haven't seen them really get in the backfield here the last couple drives, really, for Blytheville.
No, that's something
I say that, but the last drive, they did kind of get back there and had them backed up pretty deep.
They did push them back some, but I mean, you're seeing it as this second quarter is winding down. A lot of hands on hips right now.
Looking to throw, Jaheim Carter throws it over the middle, caught at the 15. His receiver takes a lick and is dropped right at the 15-yard line. Make that the 14-yard line, and it's Jalen Gunby on the reception.
We're going to have a timeout, I believe, right now.
Yeah, I think Coach Ben Fisher just burned his final timeout of the first half with 31 seconds remaining, and he did. So we will step aside, take a timeout with them, come back and wrap things up here in the second quarter. 31 seconds remain. 14-14 is your score between Blytheville and Osceola. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Andy Maness and Ryan Short welcome you back here to Blytheville. Thanks for joining us on Tubetown on Facebook. Appreciate you guys hanging with us on this Friday evening. A close ball game here at the end of the second quarter, 14-14, Blytheville and Osceola, but the Chickasaws threatening here near the goal line territory. They've got it at the 14-yard line, 3rd and 3 coming up. Jaheim Carter looking to throw, got plenty of time. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, takes a shot over the middle, batted down by one of the defensive linemen. Great job by Marlon Vance. They call him MJ, senior linebacker for the Seminoles. Comes up with a big stop there, and now it's 4th and 4.
You got, excuse me, Andy, you got to think 24 seconds left right now. They're definitely going to go for it right here. You just hope, I mean, with the intensity we've seen so far in this first half, I really anticipate if this next plays in a touchdown, we're just going to see the clock ran out for the first half.
And they don't have any timeouts, so they'll have to down it as soon as they get the first down. Takes a shot inside the 5-yard line, and it's a bit too high, and it will be another turnover on downs. This is back-to-back turnover on downs forced by the Seminoles in their own territory. So great job by the Osceola defense stepping up when they need them to. Take a look at this as it's thrown into double coverage, but the receiver had a chance to haul it in.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, that was a good play call right there. You can tell that the Chickasaw offense is clicking. They are getting in positions where they can make big plays. Right now, they just haven't been able to reel some of the big ones in that we've seen, and it's just incomplete passes and small errors like that.
20 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Tie ball game. Seminoles have it at their own 14-yard line. They do still have all 3 timeouts, but we'll see if they're going to down it and go into the locker room. It looks like by the formation they've got out on the field, that's what they're going to do. And the play clock was ticking down dangerously near 0. So I think Osceola calls a timeout to avoid any type of damage being done there. So it did look like they were going to spike it. We're just going to keep it right here and hang with you until halftime. Again, appreciate everybody joining us on this Friday evening. We want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by First National Bank and Hubbard & Hoke Furniture. So appreciate our sponsors for this evening. Make sure you thank them as well, because this is not possible without them. Also, make sure you follow us on social media on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for Tubetown Online. All right, both teams back out on the field with 12 seconds left. Seminoles ready to down it, and they do. So they will send it into the locker room. The Battle of the Braves in 2018, all tied up at 14. What a game we have had on our hands. Osceola opened things up with a touchdown on their opening drive of the game. They surrendered back-to-back touchdowns to the Chickasaws and answered with one of their own to knot it up. So again, a close ball game on our hands. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to tally up some halftime stats for you, and we'll give them to you when we come back to dissect the first half of this game. We're back with the halftime show here on Tubetown. You're watching Prep Football, live local from Ritter Communications.
For your smartphones, tablets, phablets. For the browsers you carry in your trousers. Wowzers! For your big screens and small screens, short screens and tall screens, get speed that screams. From the top of your desk to the palm of your hand, it's the fastest internet speed in the land.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. If you're not getting your internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Ritter Communications. Right by you.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
You work here, you play here, you live here, and yet most of what you watch on television is about somewhere other than here. Until now. We proudly present Tubetown, TV about you. Tubetown is a Ritter Communications exclusive network featuring local sports, community events, unique and original programming from our community. Tubetown takes what's best about television, what's best about the community, and brings them together. Tubetown, only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
Technology was supposed to make our lives easier. No one told us about the plethora of glitches, viruses, hackers, hundreds of passwords to remember, and getting all our tech to sync up. Introducing Tech Home. Technology made easy for you and your devices. Tech Home makes it easy to set up, protect, and enjoy your internet-connected devices anytime, anywhere. Security, password management, backup, and premium tech support. Get back in charge of your digital life now with Tech Home.
Satellite TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract, then saddle you with second-rate service and price increases. Ritter delivers TV service with stunning HD channels, plus bundle savings on the area's fastest internet, and a better home phone service with no long-term contracts, backed by our local customer care team. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a dish. Visit RitterCommunications.com to learn more.
It begins with a click. And no matter where you are, you have countless choices at your fingertips. On the road, on your break, even in your own backyard. A world of entertainment is just a click away. Simply go to RitterCommunications.com/TV Everywhere to get started. Ritter Communications, connecting you to everything that matters.
With so many great mega services available from Ritter Communications, it's hard to pick just one. Save a bundle with bundled services. Talk as much as you want, when you want, with unlimited long distance. Get the speed you need with up to 15, 30, 50, and even 100 megabits per second internet. Enjoy online bill pay and protect all your online data and devices with Tech Home and Guardware. With so many choices, options, and savings from Ritter, all you can say is, wow! Mega services, mega savings. That's Mega Ritter.
You live. We put you first. Introducing You First Banking. Only at First National Bank.
You've got a lot of choices when you buy home furnishings. There are many reasons to choose Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
At Hubbard & Hope, you'll find a great selection of furniture, appliances, bedding, and electronics with outstanding service, 6 ways to finance your purchase, and free local delivery.
Plus, you'll get a great deal every day on name brands you know and trust.
Great deals, outstanding service, and free delivery. You're going to love
Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
The Jonesboro Advertising and Promotion Commission welcomes you to the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival. This year's festival kicks off Friday, September 28th with the 2nd annual SCA Steak Contest and live music from Fuel. Then Saturday, it's the 10th annual KCBS Sanctioned Barbecue Contest with $10,000 in cash prizes. Then Saturday night, Smash Mouth rocks the Ritter Communications stage. Hey now, you're an all-star. It's the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival, September 28th and 29th, presented by the Jonesboro A&P Commission.
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
No matter what kind of business you own or operate, you need to keep it connected. Ritter Communications delivers the fastest business internet speeds available at a price that won't slow you down. Ritter offers reliable 24-hour service with network monitoring, along with the scalable options your business needs to grow. And we do it all on our own fiber optic network. The choice is yours, and so is the savings. Connect to something better. Call or visit RitterBusiness.com today.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to RitterCommunications.com.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
For your smartphones, tablets, phablets. For the browsers you carry in your trousers. Wowzers! For your big screens and small screens, short screens and tall screens, get speed that screams. From the top of your desk to the palm of your hand, it's the fastest internet speed in the land.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. If you're not getting your internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Ritter Communications. Right by you.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
You work here, you play here, you live here, and yet most of what you watch on television is about somewhere other than here. Until now, we proudly present Tubetown, TV about you. Tubetown is a Ritter Communications exclusive network featuring local sports, community events, unique and original programming from our community. Tubetown takes what's best about television, what's best about the community, and brings them together. Tubetown, only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Technology was supposed to make our lives easier. No one told us about the plethora of glitches, viruses, hackers, hundreds of passwords to remember, and getting all our tech to sync up. Introducing Tech Home. Technology made easy for you and your devices. Tech Home makes it easy to set up, protect, and enjoy your internet-connected devices anytime, anywhere. Security, password management, backup, and premium tech support. Get back in charge of your digital life now with Tech Home.
Satellite TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract, then saddle you with second-rate service and price increases. Ritter delivers TV service with stunning HD channels, plus bundle savings on the area's fastest internet, and a better home phone service with no long-term contracts, backed by our local customer care team. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a dish. Visit RitterCommunications.com to learn more.
It begins with a click. And no matter where you are, you have countless choices at your fingertips. On the road, on your break, even in your own backyard. A world of entertainment is just a click away. Simply go to RitterCommunications.com/TV Everywhere to get started. Ritter Communications, connecting you to everything that matters.
With so many great mega services available from Ritter Communications, it's hard to pick just one. Save a bundle with bundled services. Talk as much as you want, when you want, with unlimited long distance. Get the speed you need with up to 15, 30, 50, and even 100 megabits per second internet. Enjoy online bill pay and protect all your online data and devices with Tech Home and Guardware. With so many choices, options, and savings from Ritter, all you can say is, wow! Mega services, mega savings. That's Mega Ritter.
You live. We put you first. Introducing You First Banking, only at First National Bank.
You've got a lot of choices when you buy home furnishings. There are many reasons to choose Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
At Hubbard & Hope, you'll find a great selection of furniture, appliances, bedding, and electronics with outstanding service, 6 ways to finance your purchase, and free local delivery.
Plus, you'll get a great deal every day on name brands you know and trust.
Great deals, outstanding service, and free delivery. You're going to love
Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
The Jonesboro Advertising and Promotion Commission welcomes you to the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival. This year's festival kicks off Friday, September 28th with the 2nd annual SCA Steak Contest and live music from Fuel. Then Saturday, it's the 10th annual KCBS Sanctioned Barbecue Contest with $10,000 in cash prizes. Then Saturday night, Smash Mouth rocks the Ritter Communications stage. Hey now, you're an all-star. It's the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival, September 28th and 29th, presented by the Jonesboro A&P Commission.
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
Welcome back to Blytheville here on Friday night. Andy Maness and Ryan Short with you as the Chickasaws and the Seminoles have got 24 minutes left to figure out who's going to be the winner of the Battle of the Braves here in 2018. All knotted up at halftime. It is 14-14, and it has been a very even keel game so far. Osceola started things off with a touchdown, surrendered back-to-back touchdowns to the Chicks, and were able to even it up before the two teams went in the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, when we first came out tonight, Osceola definitely had the momentum, and you could tell that they were prepared mentally, and then their game plan was very well rehearsed coming into the first couple of drives. A great 3-and-out first possession of the game that they were able to get defensively, and then offensively they were able to just march the ball down the field. For them, it's been really interesting so far to see just the dual-threat quarterback system we've seen from them. Obviously, coming in red zone situations has been Cam Turner, the sophomore, that I know a lot of people in Osceola are very excited for being a sophomore. He has a few more years that he can really influence this Seminole team. I mean, on his own tonight, he's got a touchdown pass of his own, and then we've just been able to see the electricity he has around the goal line, because he also ran for that 2-yard score to give Osceola both their scores. For his offense, a total of 98 yards here in the first half.
Each team with an interception as well. So for the most part, both teams taking pretty good care of the football. But talk a little bit about the penalties in the first half. I mean, golly, how many times did we see a flag out on the field in the first 2 quarters?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to keep talking about Osceola for a moment. I mean, they had fewer penalties than Blytheville, but their penalties really racked up. I mean, holding, pass interference, really put them in compromising situations, and we saw it on kickoffs that they were sort of favored from that. But then on the other side for Blytheville, really just penalties that if you give a little bit more focus, they're really preventable. Encroachment, offsides, false start, penalties like that you know that whenever they're going into the halftime right now, Coach Ben Fisher, it's sort of been a staple of this Blytheville team to be very disciplined, so that's very uncharacteristic of them here in the first half, so I don't expect that to continue in the second half.
And we'll quickly give you a scoring recap of the first half. Again, Osceola, their opening drive, it took them 9 plays to score from 12 yards out. Cam Turner hooking up with Greg Hooks on a pitch and catch. I believe it was on 4th down, too. Blytheville looked like they were in trouble. Threw a pick their very next drive, their next time out. They were able to force a 3-and-out on defense, and then they scored back-to-back touchdowns, one from 33 yards out, Jaheim Carter to Armani McChristian, and then one from 4 yards out, Carter to Corey Weatherspoon. So 14-7 in the second quarter. The Seminoles were able to immediately answer that touchdown with a 5-play, 52-yard drive of their own to tie it up with a 2-yard run from Cam Turner. That leaves us where we're at, all knotted up at 14. Really love how much we're seeing both teams mix it up as far as their approach to tonight's game. I mean, you see, both rushing and passing yards from both teams, but I love the mix of play calling from both coaches in tonight's game.
Yeah, absolutely. For the Chickasaws offensively, we've really just seen the two-headed monster of Woods and Carter. It's just been a pretty fluid attack. Carter's being able to improvise not all of his plays. We've seen some great passes down the field where his receivers had the possibility of reeling those things in. He alone has 71 passing yards on 15 attempts so far. He does have that one touchdown that went 33 yards. That was completed to, I believe that was McChristian for their second score. But then also just like we said, just the ability to make something out of nothing. We've seen a lot of busted plays that he's been able to get positive yards or at least get back to the line of scrimmage. And then as far as the rushing attack is concerned, I mean, we've heard Wood's name called so many times tonight. He's 52 yards rushing, and then I know on the screen right now it says rushing 43. Everyone else who has an attempt is actually a negative yardage for their rushing attempt. So as far as the scorebook is concerned, Woods has 52 yards rushing on 13 attempts.
Again, the score 14-14 here at the halftime break. There's about 2.5 minutes left on the clock before we get started here in the third quarter. Osceola should start the third with possession of the football, so they'll have a chance to break this tie on the opening drive of the third quarter. We're going to go ahead and step aside and take a real quick breather because this second half, if it's anything like the first, is sure to be exciting. So go ahead, buckle your seatbelt, folks, and get ready for the second half of action from Blytheville. We're back with more here on Tubetown. You're watching Prep Football live local from Ritter Communications.
You live. We put you first. Introducing You First Banking, only at First National Bank.
You've got a lot of choices when you buy home furnishings. There are many reasons to choose Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
At Hubbard & Hope, you'll find a great selection of furniture, appliances, bedding, and electronics with outstanding service, 6 ways to finance your purchase, and free local delivery.
Plus, you'll get a great deal every day on name brands you know and trust.
Great deals, outstanding service, and free delivery. You're going to love
Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
The Jonesboro Advertising and Promotion Commission welcomes you to the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival. This year's festival kicks off Friday, September 28th with the second annual SCA Steak Contest and live music from Fuel. Then Saturday, it's the 10th annual KCBS Sanctioned Barbecue Contest with $10,000 in cash prizes. Then Saturday night, Smash Mouth rocks the Ritter Communications stage. Hey now, you're an all-star. It's the Downtown Jonesboro Barbecue and Music Festival, September 28th and 29th, presented by the Jonesboro A&P Commission.
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
No matter what kind of business you own or operate, you need to keep it connected. Ritter Communications delivers the fastest business internet speeds available at a price that won't slow you down. Ritter offers reliable 24-hour service with network monitoring, along with the scalable options your business needs to grow. And we do it all on our own fiber optic network. The choice is yours, and so is the savings. Connect to something better. Call or visit ritterbusiness.com today.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to rittercommunications.com.
Short, welcome you back to Blytheville, where the Chickasaws and the Seminoles getting set to start the third quarter. Again, all tied up at 14, and been a fun game to be a part of. Take a look at our calendar here. Make sure you continue to join in on the fun here on Tubetown. Next week, we're going to be right down the road in Rivercrest. Valley View Blazers headed there to take on the Rivercrest Colts, last year's 3A state champion. And, of course, we know that obviously, the Seminoles and Rivercrest, pretty big rivals. Seminoles dropping that game to Rivercrest last year, and then had a potential rematch with them in the finals of the state championships, but couldn't get past Junction City. And so, a chance to check out the Colts next week. Did they moved up to 4A?
They did. I know that Osceola still has that game circled on their calendar, though.
Absolutely.
They're going to see them, I think, on September 14th. That game's going to be a home game for Osceola, so you know there's going to be a big turnout for that game. And then upcoming for Blytheville in the 5A East next week, they're going to be home once again. So it's interesting to see Osceola starts for their first two games of the year on the road. Blytheville will get to be at home. It looks for their first 4 or 5 games of the year, but next week they're going to be playing West Memphis.
Yeah, Osceola, I'm pretty sure that they're sticking around Mississippi County here for the month of September if you look at their schedule. Kickoff of the third quarter will be taken at the 10-yard line, across the 20, 25-30, still on his feet down the far sideline, 35-yard line, and he is finally knocked out of bounds in front of the Osceola Seminole bench, and a bit of a crowd begins to gather over there, and they have some chippiness beginning to pick up right where we left off there in the second quarter.
Osceola's going to get great field position to start here in the second half. I'd be interested to see if they make the switch to bring in Cam Turner as their starting quarterback, or if they're just going to keep riding this wave that they've had so far in the first half.
And Cam Turner scored both of the Seminoles touchdowns in the first half, one through the air and one on the ground, but it's going to be Carl Miner who continues to lead the show for the purple and gold. He'll come out with a shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers, 1 on either side of him, and that's Harris in the backfield. Titus Harris, awfully broad-shouldered back there, is the senior back, 12 seconds left on the play clock. Miner looks like he's ready to go now. 7 men in the box for the Chicks. Flush out Miner. Miner's got some room to work on the far sideline, but he is going to be taken down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. So dropped for a loss. Good play on first down for the Chickasaw defense.
Yeah, they're going to knock him back. I mean, first play out here in the second half is going to be a good loss of 3 yards by the Chickasaw defense. So they're coming out definitely wanting to respond here in the second half.
Harris is going to stay in at tailback. Still got 2 wide receivers on either side for Miner. Titus Harris lined up on the left. 4-man blitz coming. Fires it over the middle. Caught at the 45-yard line, but what a hit. They're going to say that he caught that and fumbled it. It's going to be Chickasaw football. Oh, my goodness.
It's interesting to see. So the official that was right there on the ball, as you see the replay right here, the slant route across the middle of the field. Huge hit laid right here, but that judge on the right side of your screen right now didn't throw the blue bag out of his pocket to indicate that it was a fumble. Neither did he indicate that it was going to be called an incomplete pass either. So either way, it looks like it's going to be Blytheville football here.
And it is 1st and 10 for the Chickasaws, and a fumble recovery for Zy Kennedy. I don't know if he was the one to lay the lumber on the receiver, but man, what a hit. Second down coming up.
Good pickup of 5 yards right there, going back to what we saw in the first half, just keeping it on the ground right now.
And they're taking no time to get back on the football. They're trying to get up and go with it. Carter looking to throw to the far sideline. Oh, got a paw on it. Did a Seminole defender, Jamarion Beasley, able to stick his hand out and bat it down. Take a look at the replays. He tries to fire this little crossing pattern from the wide receivers, but linebacker there to break it up. So now 3rd and 5 coming up for the Chicks. Seminoles trying to put up a nice little stand here on 3rd down, try to get the ball back for their offense on a questionable turnover. There's the handoff to Woods. Woods, I believe he's got first down yardage. We'll see where they spot him. Had to get to the 34. Oh, they're going to say he stopped short. They've got him spotted at the 36, so it'll be 4th and 2 coming up with 10:20 left to play in the 3rd.
It'll be interesting to see if Coach Fisher right here wants to play the field position game and to go ahead and punt this ball deep into Osceola territory.
Offense is still out on the field. 14 seconds left on the play clock. They are going to go for it. 4th and short coming up. Osceola got 8 guys standing in the box right now. They hand it off. Still on his feet across the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Rumbles down to the 5-yard line. What a downhill run from Brian Dinkins.
Great for, I mean, he's hit his line of scrimmage. Great defense right here by Osceola, but he's able to bounce it outside and get that ball all the way into the red zone. Looks like the head official is going to say there's a sideline warning for Osceola, so they're going to have that. It's going to be enforced right here as well.
Brian Dinkins with an absolute big boy run that time. Moves the Chicks down inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal coming up. Dinkins still in the backfield. He's going to take the handoff. Hit immediately. Great job by the Seminole defense on that play. They said, Dinkins, you might have picked up 45 on us last time, but you're going to sit down in the backfield here. And I think that was Jarek Scales getting back there and delivering the initial hit. 2nd and goal coming up. I think Coach Ben Fisher was trying to reward Dinkins there for that run on 4th and short. We'll see if they have a different play call here on 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. 3 wide receivers lined up on the near side. Jalen Dye lined up in the slot. It's a keeper for Carter. Carter shook one defender, made his way into the end zone on the option. And the Chicks have come out here and forced a turnover to start the 3rd quarter. and capitalized off of it with a touchdown run.
Yeah, just great athleticism here, making the move on that DN and be able to find his way into the end zone and get an early Chickasaw score here in the second quarter, or in the second half, excuse me.
Jamarion Veasley was the Osceola defender who got tripped up around the 5-yard line. Extra point on the way, and it is going to be no good. So that one could be crucial in a close ball game. The score will be 20-14, but it's an 8-yard touchdown rush from Jaheim Carter that will break the tie here in the third quarter. Again, 9:04 remaining, 20-14 is your score. Blytheville leading Osceola. We're back with more of the third quarter right after this. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Andy Manus and Ryan Short back here with you in Blytheville, where the Chicks have just gone up 6 points on the Osceola Seminoles, 20-14. Here's the kickoff at the 20, the 25, 30. Cuts back, slam down at the 34-yard line. What a hit by the Chickasaws, Demetric Buckley.
Cam Turner back to receive that one right there. He's able to get it out to about I think they're going to mark it about the 34-yard line. That's where the Seminoles are going to set up shop.
What a hit. That is how you wrap up. As Ryan mentioned, at the 34-yard line is where the Seminoles will pick back up. Again, if you missed it, their first drive here of the third quarter, a questionable turnover. Wide receiver caught a pass over the middle. Referee said he was hit and fumbled it. Didn't call it incomplete. Facing pressure, tosses it in the air. A jump ball is nearly intercepted. Miner looking for Jarek Scales and just kind of had to toss it up because he had two maroon jerseys breathing down his neck.
I thought they were setting up a screen there, but I guess it was just penetration by the defense. But great awareness right there by Scales to know that he was not going to be making a play on the ball. Instead, to turn around and basically tackle the defender to make sure that wasn't reeled in as interception right there.
That definitely looked like they were trying to set up a screen, but lucky, again, that they didn't turn it over. Now a little bubble screen here on the near sideline, thrown to the turf, and it's incomplete. So 3rd and 10 coming up, trying to get it out to Greg Hooks. Carl Miner threw it at his feet.
Interesting to see what they're going to call here on 3rd and 10, trying to generate some type of offense. They've really come out here in the they had a good completion on their first drive. It just resulted in a fumble, so they've been kind of stagnant so far.
Empty backfield for Miner, 5 wide receivers to throw to. Chickasaws have got one man bringing pressure. Flush him out of the pocket. Got a man wide open at the 45-yard line and let it bounce right off his chest. That was first down territory all day.
Really unfortunate right there for Travion Moore. I think he was sort of anticipating the contact, and he didn't know that the corner behind him had hit the turf. So preparing for the contact and knowing where you are in respect to the out-of-bounds line just really resulted in a surefire first down being dropped right there.
So they're going to have to punt it away here unless they go for a trick play. 4th and 10 coming up from their own 34. There's a big boot. Nice punt. That one's going to bounce at the 25 and takes a Seminole roll backwards. It's picked up by one of the Chickasaws, Corey Weatherspoon, still on his feet at the 20 as he reverses directions. Brought down by a horse collar tackle inside the 20-yard line, and they managed to avoid any damage being done on the punt return, but do damage to themselves via penalty.
I'm curious to see if this flag, the official down there reached for it whenever he saw the initial block, but I believe what he just signaled for there was a face mask on the tackle. I'm not sure if, from my vantage point, it looked like he grabbed him by the shoulder pad, but it appears that it's going to be a face mask penalty right here.
I imagine it's roughly the same yardage either way, whether it's a horse collar or a face mask. I think it's still a 10-yard penalty either way.
Penalty is a personal foul, face mask against the Seminoles.
So that will be spotted from the 15 all the way out to, it looks like the 25 maybe. No, they'll spot, excuse me, from the 20 to the 30 is where they're going to go with it.
Heads up play by Weatherspoon to have the presence of mind to field that instead of letting it continue to roll. Let's see right here if he did get his hands. I mean, yeah, his hands were near the face mask. I'm not sure if that would justify a 15-yard penalty, but nonetheless.
Here's a run on first down from Woods. Woods right up the gut.
Jamel Woods on the carry.
And Woods will pick up about 3 yards on first down.
Brought down by Jamarion Beasley.
Woods comes up favoring his leg. I'm not sure if he's cramping or if he got twisted up right there on that tackle.
Had to get carried off the field just then by his teammates. I think he's over there kind of, they're wanting to stretch it out like a cramp, so we'll see if that's what it is. And that's appears to be what they're working on right now, so I think he's going to be okay. 8:09 to play here in the third quarter. 2nd and 6 coming up after Woods makes his way off the field. So again, it's Brian Dinkins back in the backfield, standing to the right of Jaheim Carter. There's the snap. Dinkins takes the handoff, trying to find the corner. Got the edge at the 35.
Oh, my.
And a flag came flying out from the sideline and lands at the 32. That distracted me. The flag went flying up. I didn't know what it was. Referee threw that one way up in the air.
Looked like Dinkins did like a little triple axle right there as he's evaded the defender. I'd like to see that on replay here in a minute.
Waiting on the call from the official. Block in the back. Excuse me, holding. It looked like he signaled block in the back, but
look, here as he gets to the end. I think the corner was just going for just a low tackle, and that was actually the safety that came up. He just hurdled him, did a little spin.
You know, if I don't know that I like that call from the official, but he had a better vantage point than I did. So either way, 2nd and 19 coming up. Dinkins hitting the backfield, dropped near the 20. So now 3rd and long coming up. Good stand there by the Seminole defense.
Yeah, great tackle there by Scales to keep with his assignment and being able to make a form tackle right there on a running back that appears to be much bigger than him.
And from up here, Dinkins looks like he's just as big as some of the linemen out there. I mean, he is tall.
He's a big body.
Standing in there at running back. Empty backfield for Carter here on 3rd and long. Fakes the throw, is going to step up in the pocket. Looking for perhaps a little quarterback draw play just to get a little breathing room, and it results in no gain. So now 4th and 20 coming up.
Interesting to note that on that PAT attempt earlier, it looked like the holder had a little bit trouble getting the ball down, which resulted in that missed PAT. So I really hope that doesn't come back to haunt Blytheville later on in this game.
Dinkins is back ready to punt. One man is back deep to return for Osceola. Dinkins gets it away, a high kick. It'll bounce inside the 45-yard line and take a Chickasaw roll rather to the 50-yard line. Well spotted at the 49, and here come the Seminoles back out on offense. Nice little move there by the Chickasaw special teamer. I don't know if you saw him try to give that one just a little tap back inbounds.
Just gave it a little dink to push it forward. I don't think anybody bought it, though, so they're going to mark it at 49.
Definitely not. Happened right in front of the officials. So here come the purple and gold, trying to even this one up here. Possibly go up by 1 if they can get the extra point. 15 seconds left on the play clock. Carl Miner ready to go with a back in the backfield and 4 wide receivers. There's the handoff. Across the 45-yard line down to about the 42. And that was Brandon Johnson, the junior tailback for the Seminoles. I think getting his first action of the night. Pick up of about 5 yards. 2nd and 5 coming up.
See a little tempo here from Osceola.
Oh, and the tailback driven backwards hard. And again, that was Brandon Johnson on the carry. He ran into two maroon jerseys who were not happy about meeting him.
I thought his knee was down right here.
It looked like it was.
It was, so he sort of gave up running, but nobody blew the whistle, so. Got the head ref.
Yeah, we've got Osceola Seminole, Keyshawn Scales, who's coming up limping just a little bit, so he's going to make his way off the field there. Looks like maybe just a cramp.
I think he was the pulling guard there, and it looked like it cramped before he even got to the hole.
Oh, he got lit up too. He was supposed to make that block and instead got trucked by the Chickasaws defender. Tyrone Pope came through the line and laid a hit on him. Shotgun formation. Minor looking at the defense. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Throws it over the middle. Picked off at the 25-yard line. The third interception tonight.
It looked like that was busted from the very beginning. It appeared that the injured player, the false start right there, everybody was calling for it, but then once again, just a pass that has a little bit too much air on it as it sails past the intended receiver and a little bat up in the air and able to corral it. And another turnover right here for it going in favor of the Chickasaws.
Third pick tonight. It's the second for the Blytheville Chickasaws. And both of those picks have come over the middle. And that play looked pretty similar to the play that we saw moments ago in which the Seminoles fumbled, and the earlier play, which Minor threw that interception. Here's Dinkins on a run around the right side, makes his way to the 35-yard line, and I would not want to be a defender standing in front of him.
No, and I think the most important thing you look right here on the replay is look how long he waited for that blocking to develop, and he's just dragged down by his pants skirt right here. A good pickup of yardage, though.
Yeah, picked up 9 yards there on first down, so 2nd and 1 coming up. It's Dinkins, face mask. He shoved the defender off of him, and he's brought down at the 40. You don't see that happen very often. A guy gets face masked, and he stiff arms him off of him.
There are 3 penalties on the field right now, and it appears that there's a Chickasaw.
Yeah, Corey Weatherspoon is out there at the 20, writhing in pain.
Not sure exactly. I never saw what happened there, but you see that face mask. I mean, very blatant right there is the face mask, and he's able to shake the defender off. That could be a very dangerous play, but I mean, all the flags came out, and then, like we said, Witherspoon is at the opposite 20-yard line, very far away from the play. I don't know how he ended up all the way over there, but he definitely went down with cloud. I'm not sure if that's a cramp or what it may be.
It kind of looks like they're stretching him out as if it's a cramp. Obviously, you don't want to make any assumptions. The face mask obviously is going to go against Osceola.
That's something we mentioned early in the first and second quarter, is that this is the first game of the year. And the previous 2 weeks, if you haven't been with us, we've been in Northwest Tennessee covering some games, and cramps have been an early sign of fatigue. I think we saw a couple from Osceola in the first half, but you can see here some of these guys that are on the field playing both sides of the ball, they're definitely having to regroup, keep hydrated, and I mean, you practice all year. They really regulated the practice time that these kids have during the summer, and they try not to physically exert them too much, but you really can't replicate game reps until you're in the game. So halfway through the third quarter, we're starting to see a few players start to favor some hamstrings, some calves, and getting those cramps worked out.
Yeah, they are still out there working on Weatherspoon. So we're going to go ahead and we'll step aside for a quick break while they get him hydrated. 4:50 left to play here in the third quarter. It's a 6-point lead for the Blytheville Chickasaws. It is 20-14 Blytheville over Osceola. We're back with more third quarter action. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
For your smartphones, tablets, phablets. For the browsers you carry in your trousers. Wowzers! For your big screens and small screens, short screens and tall screens, get speed that screams. From the top of your desk to the palm of your hand, it's the fastest internet speed in the land.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. If you're not getting your internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Ritter Communications. Right by you.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
Andy Maness and Ryan Short back here with you in the third quarter as Corey Weatherspoon making his way off the field.
Yeah, as we were commenting in that break, he definitely had a cramp, but also what we've seen is the head official had both teams go to their sidelines, and instantly the referees they also convened on the sidelines, and you can hear them asking for water and asking, as you see the near line judge running off with a water bottle, and they're staying hydrated, taking their hats off and wiping some sweat off as well.
I don't know if I've ever seen a referee cramp up in the middle of the game, but I suppose there's a first time for everything. So 4:50 to play in the third quarter, 1st and 10 for the Chicks at the Seminole 44-yard line. 6-point ball game. 3 wide receivers for Carter. Dinkins in the backfield. It's Dinkins with the handoff. Jukes a man in the backfield, crosses the 40-yard line and tripped up at the 39. Picks up a nice little 5-yard chunk on first down, making it 2nd and 5 coming up. Ryan, ever since they put Dinkins in the ball game, he has kind of been steady back there as a fill-in for Woods.
Yeah, and I've been trying to think, just watching how he runs and how he addresses the hole each time. He reminds me of like a young, like an Arian Foster almost.
He does. He gets ready to make that cut before he enters the hole. I think you're onto something there. But here on 2nd down, he is stopped for a loss, and it will be 3rd and I think 7 coming up.
It's just something that you typically see like at a more like elite level at potentially like college when you get up to the pros, but like Arian Foster, whenever you see him, when he catches the ball out of the backfield or he receives a handoff, what he does typically is he sort of waits for the hole to develop and then he attacks it. And we see that same type of pace and momentum from the Chickasaws right now.
Just saw Keyshawn Scales had to make his way off the field, had a cramp. Took him a moment to get up. 3rd and 7. There's the handoff. Caught him by his shirt tail and would not let him go. Garrett Cloud was looking for any type of room. Oh, no, beg your pardon. That's Jermel Woods back in the game. He was looking for any type of space that he could find. And just defensive effort right there by Peyton Burks, holding on and not letting go.
Yeah, they're going to give him benefit of the doubt and give him a yard, but it's going to be a 4th and 6 right here for the Chickasaws.
Yep, 4th and 6 coming up. Keeping that offense out on the field with 3:05 left to play in the third. 3 wide receivers for Carter. He's got one here on the near side. It's Amani McChristian. Looking to throw. He's going to throw to McChristian. He's got a step on his man. Oh, my goodness, right out of the breadbasket at the 5-yard line. That could have been a touchdown on 4th down. Instead, it's a turnover on downs, and the Seminoles are going to get it back. What a break the Seminoles catch here.
You love the enthusiasm and the confidence in the play call to throw that down the field and just give your receiver a chance to make a play. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to reel it in. And then, I mean, if he would have caught that, we'd have been talking about a 2-score lead here for the Chickasaws in the late stages of the third quarter.
Got to credit Ikel Carruthers on the defense there. He didn't turn to find the football, but he stuck his arm out just enough I think, to disrupt the concentration of Amani McChristian. So now 1st and 10 for the Seminoles with 2:53 left to play in the third quarter. They've got it on their own 40-yard line. Trying to answer that score earlier here in the third quarter. Play action, tossed over the middle, caught at the 50. Hit at the 45-yard line and dropped is Jarek Scales. Great catch by Scales, but a better throw. As you see here facing the pressure is Minor, takes a hit as he throws the football, and then a big hit that time laid by Willie Bell. We've already called his name tonight with an interception. Either way, 1st and 10 now for the Seminoles at the 50. Minor hit as he throws, loose football. Seminoles trying to fall on top of it, and they do. Osceola catching a break there as the pressure came around the corner. Minor never saw it, gets smoked as he throws. And again, one of the guards had to fall down on top of it.
They're going to take Minor out for a second and bring in Cam Turner. It looked like Minor was a little bit, he was definitely shaken up from that last play. But they're going to give a breather, and we're going to see the sophomore right here come into the ball game.
Blindside hit. Brings in Cam Turner, the sophomore at quarterback. He's got both touchdowns for the Seminoles. 4 wide receivers. Man goes in motion, but the left tackle moved. He moved and he knew it. Torrance Stewart, the senior, will back it up 5 yards for the Seminoles, and they'll have a long way to go here on 2nd down. We got a 2nd and 20 coming up.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It feels like this third quarter's been a little bit one-sided in favor of the Chickasaws, but, I mean, we look at the scoreboard, one score and a PAT away, Osceola's going to be right back in this thing.
Turner with the option, keeps it himself, bounces it to the outside, uses his speed across the 40, the 35, the 30. He's gonna score! Are you kidding me? Cam Turner, just like that, instant offense for the Seminoles.
You are seeing the future of Osceola football on full display here in Blytheville. 50 yards, diverting all type of attack. You see him keep the ball here, follow his blocker through the hole. He gets his contact first, 10 yards down the field. Nice spin move, able to stay on his feet, and then from there he just turns on the jet and he takes it to the promised land.
That's a senior level run from a sophomore quarterback. He ties it up with 2:11 to play in the third quarter, and the Seminoles an extra point away from taking the lead in the third quarter. It's up, it's through, and we got ourselves a 1-point ball game. Holy smokes.
My goodness, that was just the determination. You could tell whenever he came into the game that he had a fire in it. He is wanting to earn that starting playing time. Like we said, it was 10 yards down the field before he even had a defender touch him. But you see just a host of red jerseys had their hands on him, and then he just runs it. This is, I'm telling you guys, Osceola is super excited about this kid. There's a reason that they've been bringing him inside the red zone, and he is now credited with all 3 scores for the Seminoles.
Guys, we hear you on Facebook. You've been calling for it all game. We want Cam Turner. We see why now. The sophomore quarterback provides instant offense for Osceola. And now the Chickasaws, with their backs against the wall, are going to have to answer. 2:11 to play in the third quarter. And the Chickasaw crowd getting into it now.
It's fixing to get rough and rowdy here in Blytheville. Both sidelines are on their feet right now, bantering one another. They know that the last 2 minutes of this third quarter, and certainly the fourth quarter, we are in for a treat. First week of prep football in Northeast Arkansas.
Chickasaws with 2 men back deep, ready to return the kickoff. Osceola lined up, ready to go. Marlon Vance ready to boot it away.
Oh, no.
Down the far sideline, it'll go out of bounds at about the 30, and that will provide some pretty good field position for the Chicks to start off their drive here at the end of the third quarter.
That's the only issue with when you see kickers that are fundamentally not kickers and they're using the end of their toe to kick the ball. You have some that they put their boot behind it and you're like, wow, he really got a hold of that one. But in the same token, you missed it by just centimeters to either side. You're going to have that knuckling effect like we saw as we look back at the replay, the 50-yard run by Cam Turner. I mean, Facebook, your comments, you've been calling for him. You've said you want him.
6 tackles. He broke 6 tackles on his way to the end zone. You know, a couple of them, I don't even know if you call them broken tackles as much as he just flat outran everybody on the field.
Looks like the officials are having an issue figuring out where to spot the ball here.
Well, the ball went out at the 31. It ought to be spotted at the 40, if I'm not mistaken. But
I think they were trying to give it the path of the ball in which it went out and give them a couple extra yards, but I'm not quite sure.
No.
So that's the penalty for the kick, and then now they're going to advance it to the.
Now they do give them the couple extra, but they spot it at the 35 plus the 2 extra. So ball will be at the 37-yard line of Blytheville. Here we go. Clock running. 2:11 to play in the third. 3 wide receivers on the near side for Carter. Looking to throw. It's a reverse screen going back the other way. 40-yard line for Woods. 45, 50. Chased down from behind as he crosses the 45-yard line. I don't know what Seminole that was that caught him from behind, but what a burst of speed he needed because Woods had a lot of green out in front of him.
Great play, misdirection here to set up the screen on the far side, and I mean, you saw it as soon as he got just a glimpse of daylight, he was able to get positive yardage there.
We have got a Blytheville Chickasaw who is down back at the 30-yard line. Looks like we've got some more cramping going on. And they're going to help him up and make his way off the field. That's Tyler Anderson, a junior for Blytheville, makes his way off, and Woods is going to come out of the game. Brian Dinkins comes back in.
That big body that we've seen here in the third quarter, he's been able to get some positive yards for the Chickasaw, so let's see if he can tack on a few more here.
They go from run you over to outrun you. I guess flip-flop that. We go from outrun you to run you over as now Dinkins is in the game. 2 wide receivers here on the near side for Carter with Dinkins in the backfield on his left. It's Dinkins taking the handoff, running to the right, looking for the block to develop. He gets it at the 40, tries to hurdle a man at the 36, and I think he mistimed his jump, and now he is on the turf writhing in pain.
We also have a hold that's going to be assessed from the line of scrimmage. It looked like the right tackle for the Chickasaws just got a little bit too much jersey there.
1:48 left to play in the third as we getting some attention over here on Brian Dinkins. Take another look as he mistimes his jump here.
Just came down awkwardly on that left leg.
Yeah, hopefully didn't hurt that left leg too badly. That is the one that they are checking out right now, but they're also going to help him up, and yeah, he's going to make his way off the field kind of gingerly. That holding penalty was against Blytheville, so that backs up that run by Dinkins right there. 10 yards from the spot of the penalty, so it'll be first, and it looks like nearly 20 to go. It'll be at the Blytheville 46-yard line.
Endurance right here, conditioning is going to play a huge part in this last quarter that we're fixing to come up on.
Man goes in motion, hands it off on the jet sweep. Got a block from Woods, spins at the 45, hit hard near the 50-yard line and stretching out. Trying to get it. Titus Harris coming up with a hit. Boy, he stood up and kind of posed over the ball carrier there after that as well.
Something that we've seen so far by the Chickasaws is they've had a lot of success on the ground. I mean, primarily here in the third quarter, they've had 3 passing attempts. One was that 24-yard pass that we saw that just electrified everyone. But it's curious to see that most of those happen on busted plays, or they're just one-on-one coverage on the outside. I mean, looking near side right now, we've got a matchup that it would not surprise me at all if they took another shot downfield.
Corey Weatherspoon, the lone wide receiver over there on the far side. Carter's got 3 wide receivers here on the near side, and he's looking to throw, and they might have been about to take that chance you were looking for, but a flag will stop them before they get started. It'll be a delay of game penalty against the Chickasaws, backing them up 5 more yards. It'll be now 2nd and 24, coming up with under a minute left to play in the third. And what a turn of events here in the third quarter. It looked like the Chickasaws had all the momentum on their hands. They forced a fumble, came up with an interception, and And it only took one 50-yard play from Cam Turner to make it a one-point ball game in favor of Osceola.
Personnel switch here on the near side. Hooks came in as he's this near corner right now.
Little screen thrown out to the near side across the 45-yard line and down across the 50. Kylan Wells is the receiver for the Chickasaws, who picks up about 10 yards. Not quite 10 yards. Let's give him 6 or so.
It was just interesting to see that change right there. I believe it was Carruthers was the near side corner over here, and before that play, Hooks came running out. The junior just sort of match up on this near side against McChristian that we've seen them toss the ball up to a couple times. So they're definitely wanting to contest any ball thrown downfield.
3 wide receivers on the far side. McChristian lined up by himself here on the near side. It's a throw out to the far side, looking for maybe a screen, but I think everybody was confused on the play call. Looked like the wide receivers, Ryan, were getting ready to run maybe a streak route, and Carter was thinking screen the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was just a play that takes a little bit longer to develop, and whenever you're running, when the ball's on the right hash and you're running a slow developing bubble screen on the far side of the field, you kind of have to hold it a little bit longer. You have to buy into that fake just a little bit more. I think it was just timing all that happened right there.
So now a 4th and long play coming up here for the Chickasaws, getting ready to punt it away. Brian Dinkins back deep to punt it. And then I believe Jarek Scales is back deep for the Noles to return. 15 seconds left on the play clock. Dinkins had to stretch out to get that snap. It's a super high punt, not very long. It bounced off a Seminole. It bounced off a Seminole. It bounced off Titus Harris, and the Chickasaws are going to recover inside the 35-yard line. No way.
He kicked that so high, I could have swore I saw drizzle start coming from the sky, just an absolute rainbird. And the Osceola had no idea where it was. I believe
Titus Harris
had absolutely no idea. He's looking, and he knows he's supposed to be away from the ball, but it just rubs down and hits his leg, and you can see as soon as they saw that roll off his leg, fortunately a Chickasaw return man was down there to fall on top of it, so new life here for Blytheville.
Unbelievable. That's the second crucial special teams mistake we've seen from Osceola here tonight. Here's an option play and a keeper for Carter. He's going to rumble forward to about the 25-yard line. Now it is 2nd and 4. Could be the break that the Chickasaws need to get back on top here in tonight's ball game. 15 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. And I think they're going to let time run out in the 3rd, and we're going to head to the 4th. Take another look at that run on 1st down, and great option read that time.
Very awkward tackle right there, and that does not appear to be a cramp. He just kind of got his legs twisted up, but that's going to take us to the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and Carter is holding his knee right now as the buzzer sounds to end the 3rd. And as Ryan said, we're headed to the 4th. Hopefully Carter is able to make his way back out on the field. We'll find out after this. 21-20 is the score. Osceola leading Blytheville by 1. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
You live. We put you first. Introducing You First Banking, only at First National Bank.
Andy Maness, Ryan Short, welcome you back to Blytheville. We're ready to start the 4th quarter. Take a look at this punt that happened to end the 4th quarter, happened to end the 3rd quarter. It bounces off of Titus Harris. He had no idea where the ball was, and the Chickasaws are able to fall down on top of it. 1st down run from Jaheim Carter, picked up 5 yards, and that's where we're at now to start the 4th quarter. 2nd and 3 at the Osceola 25-yard line. The Chickasaws threatening in the red zone, trying to capitalize off another special teams mistake from Osceola.
Yeah, this 4th quarter, it's really, I mean, we've seen a lot of cramps that have come up here in the 3rd, and even some in the 2nd, and I'm really interested. We're talking right now, Coach Ben Fisher for Blytheville, and we're talking about Coach Robert Hooks for Osceola, both fairly new coaches to their programs, and we're gonna see everything they have in their arsenal, because this may be game 1 of the season, but there's a lot of pride on the line right here tonight.
Empty backfield for Carter. No, excuse me, that's Weatherspoon who takes the snap. He's going to try to find the 1st down marker, but he is swallowed up by a swarm of white purple and gold. Brings up third down. I don't know what they were running, like a bit of a wildcat formation there with Corey Weatherspoon in at quarterback. And now Dinkins comes back out. Weatherspoon heads back in. Woods is in the backfield now alongside Dinkins. So apparently Jaheim Carter is still feeling the effects of that last run he had. Dinkins with an empty backfield. 5 wide receivers. Dinkins looking to run. They know what he's going to do, but he's got plenty of running room. He finds a gap and he's going to score. Everybody on Osceola knew what the play call was, but Dinkins just flat outran everybody.
Look at the time here. I mean, he had 3 white jerseys in front of him, waiting just a split second, and he turns on the Jets and is able to evade 1 tackle, 23 yards for the score, giving his Chickasaws the lead here to start the fourth quarter.
A 3-play drive that took, I believe, less than a minute to cap off. 32 yards, 3 plays, and that was, I believe, a 16-yard rush that time from Brian Dinkins.
Man, we're geared up here for an awesome fourth quarter.
So the Chickasaws missed that extra point earlier in the third quarter. Looked like they're going to go for 2 here, but once again, Jaheim Carter not out on the field in the quarterback position. It's Corey Weatherspoon who's back there. Standing to his right is Jalen Gunby. Send a man in motion. Weatherspoon running with it. Throws it now into the end zone off the turf. A bit too short for the intended receiver, Jalen Dye.
Great attempt there. It looked like that he had the potential to possibly reel that one in. He had a receiver there on the far side. Unfortunately, just bringing in somebody that's just a little bit inexperienced at throwing the ball. He couldn't quite grip it. I think that's what caused that right there. But man, 5-point game, 11-18 to go in the fourth quarter. I mean, Andy, we've been treated here in Blytheville for a great football game to start off prep football in Arkansas, and it looks like it's not going to let up in even the next 11 minutes.
What a game we've had tonight. Thanks so much for everyone who's joined us on Facebook. Again, make sure you follow us on social media here on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search for Tubetown Online. We do want to remind everybody to thank tonight's sponsors as well, First National Bank and Hubbard and Hoke Furniture. If it's not for those 2 sponsors, we can't come here tonight and do this ball game. So certainly appreciate them for helping us bring you this great matchup tonight between Blytheville and Osceola. An interesting train of thought here. You've got Blytheville, whose quarterback is now injured, and you've got Osceola, who's brought in a new quarterback in Cam Turner.
Yeah, when we saw Minor earlier in their last possession in the third quarter, he did get a little bit rattled, so that's why they brought in Cam Turner. But then we saw the 50-yard run that he was just electric to be able to get through. And fortunately for them, I think that's probably the fire that they need lit to get him into the ball game.
There's the kickoff.
There he is.
Takes it inside the 15, across the 20. Now across the 25, still on his feet, and runs into a wall of maroon at the 30. And look at that Chickasaw defender just jumping on the top of that pile there at the end, doing whatever they can do to bring him down. And I think, if you're Coach Ben Fisher, you go to your defense and say, hey, this game is in your hands now. Our quarterback is on the sidelines. Don't know if you're going to be able to bring him back in. You've got to come up with a stop and keep them out of the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to strictly come down to who has just the absolute willpower to get through this right now. It appears to me, I see Cam Turner on the field. I think he's going to remain at quarterback right now. So for the first time tonight, starting his first drive as a Seminole, sophomore Cam Turner is on the field right now.
Got a late right guard addition coming in here to the Seminole offensive line. 4 wide receivers for Cam Turner with Titus Harris in the backfield. Keeps it himself. Cam Turner up the middle across the 35-yard line.
Big hit right there.
Yeah, he got hit pretty hard by one of the linebackers for the Chickasaws, but Turner pops right back up, and now we've got 2nd and 4 coming up. Make it 2nd and 3.
I was about to say, he's young and spunky, and he has a very unique way of absorbing those hits, and kind of how we've seen on the opposite of the ball, waiting for the hole to develop.
Titus Harris still in the backfield. Again, 4 wide receivers. Looking to throw. It's a screen. And we have got a flag thrown down here at the near 40-yard line.
And another cramp.
Yeah, one of the defensive backs, I kind of thought he was playing like he was, you know, getting ready to kind of fake the hit. And no, he just goes down, and he's immediately grabbing at his calf.
You hate to see it, because, I mean, that's something that's going to stick with him. I mean, obviously a very close game, contested. We've seen a lot of penalties, but something that's going to stick with these coaches and these players moving forward when they're at home tomorrow watching college football on national television, and when they're watching their last preseason games on Sunday, like, hey, lay off the carbs. We need some water. We need some electrolytes. We need to stretch. These guys, they're definitely going to be feeling this one for the next couple days.
Yeah, that's Willie Bell, who they're helping off the field right now. He had an interception to his credit earlier in tonight's ball game back in the second quarter. We're going to work on him now.
Looks like that penalty went against the Chickasaws.
Sure did, and we've got 1st and 10 coming up now for the Seminoles. From their own 41-yard line. Turner's got the play. Titus Harris is in the backfield with him. No, check that. Make that Brandon Johnson in the backfield. Turner looking to throw. Flushed out, looking for a screen to develop, and it had no time whatsoever. As he had a maroon jersey breathing down his neck immediately. I think that was Nadre Lewis, the sophomore, getting back there and causing the ruckus.
Yeah, busted screen plays are never pretty, and that was one definitely right there. That they're fortunate that he was able to get that ball on the turf, and they're able to regroup for 2nd and 10.
And I want to say that was actually Ladarius Allen. I want to give credit where credit is due. Brandon Johnson rather, comes up with what looked like a bobbled snap. I don't know how he still wound up with the football safely, but he brings it back to the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a yard.
He's down right now, and I'm not believing this is a cramp as we look that just hand-eye coordination brought that one in, but he was twisted up and awkwardly came to the ground. I really think we may have a serious injury on our hands right now, but he is, under his own power at least, attempting to get off the field.
Well, that's actually one of the guards making his way up. I think Kenyon Troop. He will make his way off the field under his own power. And now we have got a 3rd and 11 coming up. Big time, crucial play for the Osceola Seminoles. Got to convert here. Blytheville's going to bring 4 down linemen. They got 2 linebackers. Like that 3 down linemen. They're going to drop back into coverage, only bringing pressure from 3. Turner looking to throw, steps up in the pocket. One-on-one coverage. He gave his man a chance to catch it, and he hauls it in at the 20. Are you kidding me?
Osceola Seminoles, your savior has arrived, and he comes by the form of Cam Turner. Watch him. I was sitting here, and I was physically shaking because I thought he was fixing to get lit up as the pocket was collapsing, but he's able to release the ball down the field. Huge pass up in the air. 4 Chickasaw defenders around it. Pure athleticism bringing that ball in. A nice 38-yard little pitch and catch for the 1st down.
Got to credit Greg Hooks, too, for coming up with that pass, and it looked like he fell on top of the defender, had a chance to keep going. Here's Cam Turner right up the middle on an option, shimmies a man at the 5-yard line, gets down to about the 4, stays inbounds. The clock will continue to roll at 9:27 once they reset the chains, but it'll be 1st and goal, Osceola.
Man, just electrifying offense right here to sort of light a fire under the Seminoles. We're seeing they're knocking on the door right now.
Clock will roll now from 9:24 on, and official is going to bump the game clock back up as we had some late substitutions coming on the field here, it looks like, for the Seminoles. So clock sits at 9:22 right now.
We've got a lot of viewers with us right now on Facebook, tuning into the Tubetown Facebook page. Drop a like. Let us know where you're watching us from. Root on your team right now, and we're going to try to bring you all the action this last 9:20 to go here in the ball game.
1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Osceola with a chance to get back on top here in the 4th quarter. 4 wide receivers. I think he got them off sides. I think Cam Turner with the hard count drew the defensive end off sides. Waiting on the call. It is encroachment, so it'll go against the Chicks. They'll move it half the distance to the goal. That'll put them just inside the 2-yard line.
Cam Turner is responsible for all 3 scores for the Seminoles. I'd be really curious to see if his his pride and his just absolute enthusiasm to get into the end zone propels him in right now. As I look across and I look at the Osceola fans that made the trip here to Blytheville, no one is sitting down.
They're all standing up over there in purple and gold. Here we go. Oh, it's Carl Miner back in under center. There's the snap.
I don't think he got it.
I don't think he did. He got pushed backwards. Carl Miner back in the game under center.
With the penalty, it gave them half the distance to the goal, so now it should be second down for the Seminoles.
Yeah, second and goal coming up from still about the 2-yard line, and now Cam Turner back into the game. 8:40 left to play here in the ball game. Second and goal coming up. Seminoles trying to go up by 1. Three wide receivers.
Play right here. Huge play right here.
Turner in the shotgun with Titus Harris standing to his left. Harris takes the handoff. No, I think it was an option keeper for Turner, and he's swallowed up by the Chickasaw defense over there on the far side hash marks. So now third and goal coming up. We are under 8:10 left to play in the fourth quarter. Big time third down conversion coming up for Osceola. Can they convert, or will the Blytheville defense stand strong? 4 wide receivers, a man goes in motion. There's the jet sweep handoff. Trying to find the corner at the 5-yard line and run out of bounds. A big time third down stop for the Chickasaws. They run Jeremiah Tobar out of bounds. And now a 4th and goal coming up for Osceola.
You got to think Osceola is going to keep their foot on the pedal right now and try to punch this in for 6 points. If they go for the field goal attempt, it would really surprise me right here.
Carl Miner back into the game. Cam Turner makes his way to the sideline. Titus Harris will come out of the game. I believe it's Brandon Johnson making his way back to the Seminole huddle. It is Johnson. He will head out to the wide receiver position. Miner in the backfield all by himself. Looking to throw. Over the middle. It's intercepted, but the play was blown dead. A flag thrown before the play started. And the Chickasaws were trying to celebrate that interception. Flag will be a false start against the Seminoles. That will back their 4th down attempt up even further. It'll now be 4th and goal from the 12. And we've got a host of Seminoles who are making their way off of the field.
You know, the play that they've gone to in these situations is that inside slot receiver running a slant over the middle. They've had success with it. Ball's been delivered. They've had a lot of completions. I'd be curious to see if they go for it right now.
MJ Vance in there at the tight end position. It's kind of a wildcat look here for the Seminoles. Cam Turner looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to have to run with it.
He's got a man in the back of the end zone.
Throws it to the back of the end zone. Diving. It's incomplete. And the Seminoles will turn it over on downs. Giving it back to the Chickasaws on their own 12-yard line. Take another look. Had a shot at it. What a throw he had to make to throw it across his body. Just didn't quite have enough to, oh no, he did have enough to get it there, but it went right through the hands of his receiver.
That was the receiver on the near side that ran his route, and as soon as he realized the play was busted, he started streaking across the back of the end zone. And you could sort of see it developing just like you would in like a playground, backyard football type atmosphere, and just heartbreaker right there for Osceola. But it's not over yet. We still got 6 minutes, and I know early in the second quarter we saw the Chickasaws tick some time off the clock, but let's see what the defense responds with here.
Gonna have to stand up and make a play here late in the fourth quarter. Pick up about 2 yards on that first down carry, but we do have a flag down inside the 15-yard line. Looks like it's down back at about the 14. And this one, if it goes against the Chickasaws, will have them in not so good of a spot, but hey, bright spot. You got Jaheim Carter back into the game at quarterback.
If I could throw a flag on the rest right now for how many penalties there's been this evening, I would, because there's been quite a few. It's been hard to keep up with.
Now 2nd and 8 coming up. Carter in at quarterback, signaling his team. He's got 3 wide receivers. A back in the backfield. Shotgun formation. Handoff to Woods. Woods running to his right. Got a little bit of a hole. Crosses the 15, makes his way down to it looks like the 18-yard line, and now a 3rd and short coming up with 6:15 to play in the ball game. Big 3rd down play.
Huge third
coming
down
up here.
This would set the tone for the offensive possession that Osceola just had. If their defense can come get a 3 and out, put their offense back on the field, give them one more shot to get into the end zone, this is huge right here. Just to mention, both teams still have all their timeouts.
Brian Dinkins is in the backfield behind Carter. He's going to take the handoff. Stutter step, looking for some room to work with. Crosses the 20, but he is pushed backwards. But the far side referee has got him spotted right at the 1st down marker. They're going to move the chains. 1st down, wow. Chickasaws.
That was close. That was really close. I mean, that far ref went right to the line of gain, and he had put his foot down, and he signaled to move him.
How about the patience by Dinkins, letting that hole develop before he made his move?
Absolutely.
He has come in and spelled Jermel Woods excellently tonight. Quite the duo for the Chickasaws here in the first game of 2018. 4 wide receivers for Carter. He's looking to throw. Got a man over the middle. Incomplete. Just led him a bit too far, and just saw a referee take a spill out over there on the far sideline. I don't know if he tripped or maybe he's cramping up.
It's a turf month. I think north end zone, we've got a sniper somewhere, and it just took him out. Luckily, no casualties, just his pride.
2nd and 10 now, coming up after that incomplete pass.
And that's a huge play call right there. 1st and 10, you elect to throw the ball. Now the clock is stopped.
Yeah, the referees are over here on the 25-yard line discussing something. I guess they've got it figured out. They break the huddle.
I think they're just courtesy asking if he's okay, making sure he's not cramping up.
Well, the referee looked like he actually dropped a flag down there where he fell. I don't know if that was.
They're so it's hanging in his pocket so loose because they've been throwing it so often tonight. It just happened to fall out when he hit the turf.
It'd be right there. Well, no, it looks like. Are we going to replay? No, okay. No, they get it changed. I was going to say, are we going to replay the down here? 2nd and 10 now coming up.
And now they're going to reset the play clock, too, because it didn't wind it all the way down to 0.
Yeah, 4 wide receivers for Carter. He's looking to throw here down this near sideline.
Uh-oh.
Now he's going through his progression. He's got plenty of time. Also looks like he's limping on a cramp. Got a man at the 45.
Pass interference.
Flag comes out. And that one is looking like it's going to go against the Seminoles. Had a couple of white jerseys down here on a couple of red jerseys. I think Ikel Carruthers is going to be the Seminole who's flagged for that PI. But again, the Chickasaws got to look at Jaheim Carter because he is over here nursing that right knee. And I don't know if you could tell when he planted to throw that football, it didn't look like he wanted to plant all the way. Take another look on the replay here. You can see him backing up. Look at that left leg. Watch him as he, you see there?
But then that's just a shot for Grace and a Hail Mary down the field, and he's lucky that right then it wasn't intercepted and he got bailed out by the pass interference, because without that, they would be looking at 3rd and 10 right now.
Well, right now they're just trying to play keep away from Osceola. Got it at their own 37-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up. There's the handoff to Dinkins. Dinkins spins, avoids a hit in the backfield. Able to find a little bit of running room to work with over there on the far side, hash marks, but he is dropped at about the 37-yard line for no gain. 2nd and 10 now coming up. Dinkins coming out of the ball game, and Woods will head back in.
Look at Scales hit him in the hole right here. That's Keyshawn Scales. Hit him in the hole in the pursuit to know that the play's still alive, and he was able to get in on that tackle and continue pursuit right there and get a gain of nothing.
Yeah, what a hit he laid initially on Dinkins. Backed him up a good couple yards before Dinkins was able to gather himself to make a second effort. 2nd and 10 coming up. There's the handoff to Woods on the option.
Wow.
Great shoestring tackle by MJ Vance. Vance came flying in there at the feet and able to trip up the tailback.
It's good that he got in there when he did, because he had a full head of steam going into that hole right now. If he didn't cut his ankles out from right there, I mean, he may have been able to make the tackle, but I mean, he had a clear lane there that could have really hurt for Osceola.
He's able to pick up a couple on that scamper. Now 3rd and 8 coming up. Osceola got 7 guys packed in the box. They're going to look to throw. Carter limping on that leg, throws down the near sideline. His receiver has a step on his man. Great defense by the Seminoles, but a flag does come flying out. And to me, that looked like a clean breakup.
Oh, wow.
The defender turned to find the football, and a flag comes flying out for pass interference.
Chickasaws ran a simple out and up to this near side, so he had a little bit of clearance from the D-back whenever he was making his way, but the ball was a lot of air underneath it, is a little bit underthrown, and they're going to get another penalty called here. And it's so unfortunate for Osceola, because you feel like all these passes that we see right here have been sort of just a call to grace and sort of just tossed up in the air to see if anything does happen. And a catch hasn't been made, but they've got 30 yards out of these plays.
Oh, I don't like that pass interference call at all.
I mean, we should know, though, at this point in the game, as many penalties and flags thrown on the field that we have, I mean, that's going to be something that I would much rather see a consistent call, even if it's consistently bad.
Yeah, that looked like a clean breakup to me, but either way, 1st and 10 now from the 46-yard line. There's a miscommunication between Woods and Carter just goes down. Carter looked like he was trying to give it to Woods on an option, and just a little bit of a miscommunication on getting the ball out. Carter limping around on that left leg, has no choice but to go down.
He's like, you have it. No, you have it. No, you take it. He just did the right thing right there. Just fall to the ground, take your lick, loss of 7.
And
clock is still milking off. I'm really surprised right now that we haven't seen Coach Hooks calling these timeouts yet. I mean, this would be the possession. If they get a stop right here, or if they get some type of incomplete pass, you've got to start using those timeouts.
Yeah, 2nd and 17 now from the 47-yard line. And again, Carter still reaching down, grabbing at that left leg. Woods is in the backfield for the Chickasaws. 3 wide receivers to throw to, nearing the 3-minute mark. There's the handoff to Woods, trying to find an edge, swallowed up by the defensive front 3 of the Osceola Seminoles.
And we're going to get that first time out of the second half. So Osceola, after burning this one, will have 2 more to spend. Under 3 minutes on the clock. You've got to hope right here. If you notice the defensive alignment right there for Osceola, they had no safeties back. They're playing man coverage on the receivers. They're loading up the box. They know exactly what the Chickasaws are trying to do right now. So if we get a stop on 3rd down, call your second timeout, get a punt, and let's say you start conservatively, let's call it the 20-yard line. You're going to have about 2 minutes and a timeout to work with, and a sophomore quarterback coming in that we've seen the whole second half to try to resurrect this game.
Yeah, and we're checking out your comments here on Facebook. Guys, I don't believe that Blytheville does have a backup quarterback. We saw Jaheim Carter go out on the drive before this one, and they were subbing in Corey Weatherspoon and subbing in Brian Dinkins back and forth in at the quarterback position, running a bit of a wildcat look. So, no, they don't appear to have a backup. They're keeping Carter in the game. They break the huddle and head back out onto the field. Carter still out there, still limping. He's got to credit his offensive line, though, because the last few times that he's dropped back to throw, he's had a long time to stand back there and kind of gather himself. And, you know, even though the passes that he's thrown the last couple have not been that great looking, they are you know, he's still giving his receiver a chance to throw it. Right now, Carter's lined up in the slot at receiver. Weatherspoon is in the backfield ready to take the snap with Dinkins alongside him. Weatherspoon jab steps. Now he's going to run to the outside across the 45, stretching out to the 50. He's able to pick up about 4 yards there, but looked like there was some confusion between Weatherspoon and Dinkins over who was supposed to run that football.
If we can see the replay here, so Scales was the one that's going to be credited with the tackle for Osceola, but watch Titus Harris here. The awareness to know that his man is in pursuit right now, and he physically pushed Scales' body to lunge at the feet and to make that tackle, knowing how important that they did not get a first down on that play.
Absolutely, yeah, 32 getting a little push of Jarek Scales there. Now 4th and long coming up.
Cam Turner back to receive the punt for Osceola.
If they decide to punt here. 2:08 and the clock is continuing to roll. Osceola's going to try to hang on to those 2 timeouts.
We're probably going to see Blytheville burn a timeout right here.
Coach Ben Fisher down on the sideline immediately ready to talk to the referee. I think he had him, he said, hey, as soon as that clock hits 1, let's go. So with 1:58 left, each team still got 2 timeouts remaining. They've burned 1 apiece here in this 5-point ball game, 26-21. If you're just joining us, a tight one here in Blytheville. Andy Manus and Ryan Short with you. Thanking you for joining us on this Friday evening, the first week of high school football in Arkansas. And guys, I really hope we haven't disappointed. This has been a fantastic ball game to be a part of. It's been a lot of fun to start this 2018 season this way.
If you don't start the new year off by circling 2 dates on your calendar, first one you circle is your mama's birthday, and the second one that you circle is whenever your team is starting college football, it's starting high school football, whenever your pro team is starting football, then I don't know if you deserve to be witnessing this right now, because this is a classic Northeast Arkansas matchup between two schools that are just grinding right now. And it's just like we said a few moments ago. Osceola is going to get the chance, bearing that nothing crazy happens here. 2 timeouts to go, under 2 minutes to play with their sophomore quarterback leading them.
There's the punt. It'll bounce at about the 20-yard line.
There we go.
And the Chickasaws will down it. And man, Ryan, you called it. Ball's going to be at the 20-yard line, and Seminoles are going to have about 2 minutes roughly to try to put this one in the end zone. They do, however, have 2 timeouts. Scoreboard still says that the Chickasaws have 3 timeouts, but they, in fact, have 2 as well. And now they fix it. must have overheard me in there.
I'm going to have heartburn after this one. Goodness gracious, it's just been there's been our ups and downs. We've had a lot of big plays. We've seen a lot of penalties, though. We've seen a lot of unforced errors and interceptions. So cards are on the table. Time for someone to lay it all out there.
Cam Turner with an empty backfield. The sophomore quarterback trying to make something happen here for the Seminoles. Has to one-hand that snap. Now he's flushed out here to the near side. Got a man caught at the 25-yard line.
Out of bounds.
Now at the 30, he spins and he will finally go out. That's Travion Moore who makes the catch here on the near sideline, and that will, I believe, move the chains for a first down. So either way, whether he got out of bounds or not, the clock would stop until they reset. But the Seminoles are already back on top of it and ready to go. Turner's got the play. It's Brandon Johnson in the backfield, and it's another 4 wide receiver look here for the Noles.
You have to have the field awareness right now to get out of bounds and not burn those timeouts. Hold on to them like they are treasure.
Travion Moore lined up here on the near side, but looking to the far side is Cam Turner. He's got a man over at the 40. He can't get out of bounds, so the clock will continue to roll. That was Greg Hooks on the reception. $1:30 left to play here in the 4th quarter. Seminoles have got 2 yards to go to get the first down. They've got it at their own 40.
We've got some personnel issues for Blytheville right now. They're trying to get a timeout, but they don't get it.
And a flag thrown by the near side official, and I think they had too many men on the field.
You could see just the frantic nature that they were trying to get the right personnel out on the field, and they were trying to shuffle out some of their interior linemen right there. And unfortunately, one of the Chickasaws wasn't able to get off the field, so busted play. So it would have been a 3rd and 2 for Osceola, but with this penalty now, they're going to get positive yards, and they're going to be able to start on stop clock, fresh set of downs, and they're going to be really close into getting into Chickasaw territory.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was, heads-up awareness there from Cam Turner, seeing the substitution and trying to snap it quickly. It may just have been, a product of the play. Either way, it brings up, well, now I was going to say, it should bring up a first down, but they have not marked it off yet. So now it will move it into Chickasaw territory. And with 1:15, folks, you better not touch that dial. You better not be browsing the web over here. We've got a very tight ball game on our hands.
Listen, if your friend texted you and asked you if you were watching it, they can wait.
Empty backfield for Cam Turner once again. 5 wide receivers. He's got 3 here on the near side. Travion Moore is out wide. It's a screen. He led his receiver, Jarek Scales, a bit too far. Scales still had a chance to catch that, but I don't know if he heard footsteps in his ear.
No, Turner definitely got hit before he released that ball, and it came out very awkwardly out of his hand. So fortunately, the ball was able to make it all the way to this near sideline. But unfortunately, with the screenplay, I think he would have had positive yards after the catch. Nevertheless, stop the clock, 2nd and 10.
Sends a man in motion. Oh, he got everybody offsides there. The motion.
We've seen so much from Blytheville tonight. They've been trying to jump the snap, and they've been able to try to read the cadence of the quarterback, and a couple times now it's burned them.
Yeah, and kind of 2 different trains of thought there. On one train of thought, you're happy that your defense is showing that much aggression, but you got to be a little bit more composed than that. So now 2nd and 5. Turner steps up in the pocket, avoids the pressure. Got a little bit of running room at the 35-yard line. He's going to move the chains for a first down, stopping the clock with 1:02.
We've got a couple injured Chickasaws down that cramping up,
and they're both
grabbing
trying
at their legs.
Yeah, you got to give them credit because they're both trying to get up as quickly as they can, and they do. Because they know that they can't substitute them.
I'm not sure how Cam Turner got evasive right there and got out of that situation, but first down for the Seminoles.
3 wide receivers. They're looking for the play. 53 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. Turner takes the snap, looking to throw to the near sideline. It's a screen. Threw it on the turf, and they're going to say it's incomplete. Coach Ben Fisher wanted a completion there. He wanted the clock to continue to roll.
Desperately.
Well, the clock has continued to roll. And the Seminole sideline is letting the officials know, hey, we are losing some valuable game time over here. I think a good 5 seconds probably ticked off the game clock.
As you look back here at the replay that we saw a second ago, being able to evade that tackle and get positive yards, getting a first down for the Seminoles. And then now, with the incompletion, they're fixing to try to sort out how much time should be added to the clock. I mean, keep in mind here,
40 seconds.
40. They're going to put two more seconds. There we go. Osceola still has 2 timeouts. I mean, we're under 40 seconds now. They still have 2 timeouts to run some type of draw, run some type of screenplay, and then be able to call a quick timeout.
2nd and 10, and nope, we have got a timeout out on the field. 26-21 with 40 seconds left to play in the 4th quarter, and Coach Ben Fisher will call his 2nd timeout of the 2nd half. He has got 1 remaining. The Seminoles have got 2 left. They've got the ball on the Blytheville 35-yard line. Guys, this is quite a way to bring you the start of the football season here in Arkansas.
I know we've got a lot of people from the Blytheville and Osceola community that are tuning in and trying to catch, but then we also have filtered through the comments as the night has gone on and seen people from, I'm not going to name them because it may start a comment war in the thread, but I'll just say other communities that are tuning in to watch this. You may be sitting at your own high school football game right now watching your team play. If you have any score updates from those games, I'm going to try to verify those, and I'm not just going to ramble them off, but please, if you have any score updates from other scores around the 5A East or the 3A3, please let us know.
After that timeout, here we go, 2nd and 10, another empty backfield look here for the Seminoles. Travion Moore is lined up here on the near sideline, out wide alongside Jarek Scales. Stanton Burks in the slot.
What are they doing? Okay, here we go.
Everybody's ready to go. Chickasaw's bringing 3 down linemen. Everybody else backed up into coverage. Turner looking to throw. Takes a shot down the near sideline into double coverage. Threw it short. Incomplete. Chickasaw's had a chance to maybe come up with an interception there, but that ball was headed out of bounds. They'd have had to tip it back in. Look at both of the defenders kind of come up hopping. You don't know if they're happy or cramping. Maybe a little bit of both.
I think it's a little bit of both, and it's fortunate that ball was thrown out of bounds because I believe that the intended receiver fell down as we see Cam Turner now leaving the field and trying to see who they have back at quarterback right now.
MJ Vance is in there right now.
We haven't seen this yet tonight.
We have not. 5 wide receiver look for Vance.
It's 3rd and 10. They may just be trying to run it and pick up some yards right here.
Yep, man goes in motion. It's a low snap on the ground, trying to pick it up. Oh, and I tell you what, MJ Vance picked that ball up very awkwardly. He picked it up very awkwardly, and his leg might be hurt. Hopefully it's just cramped up and just tired, but golly, he fell so awkwardly there.
Okay, so we saw the miracle 38-yard pass earlier come from Cam Turner, and he was able to get that completion. Osceola is going to get their 2nd timeout of the 2nd half right now, so they're going to have 1 left after this. And, I mean, ideally, you don't have a 25-yard play in your playbook. You just don't. This is just going to take, I mean, an absolute desperation type play as we see fans from both sidelines. They're starting to head for the exits. But if we have seen anything tonight, we're not wrapping this one up and putting a bow on it until we're absolutely positive.
Well, Ryan, I think a lot of people are questioning that play call there from Osceola. Why do you put Marlon Vance back in at quarterback and run and try to run a different look than you've ran all night long with the game hanging in the balance? You didn't see Carl Miner back there. You didn't see Cam Turner back there, but
The only thought I can
wonder
have,
about that.
and I mentioned it when it was happening, is that you had 3rd and 10. You're within Hail Mary's distance of getting into the end zone. So the thought there may have been to try to run some type of just QB, like a wildcat blast up the middle, try to pick up 4 or 5 yards, call a timeout, regroup, and then you'd have a 4th and 5 potentially to try to get a first down, but then it just spiraled out of control for them.
Well, here we go with MJ Vance back in at quarterback, and I don't
see a little bit of a chess match right now.
A little bit, yeah. Timeout call by the Chicks here.
What's the receiver?
Final
Who do we have
timeout.
receivers out right now?
The 3 wide receivers lined up here on the near side for the Seminoles were Stanton Burks. We also had Travion Moore, and then Jarek Scales sitting in between them. Then on the far side, we had DeAnthony Poole, and I want to say Greg Hooks was over on the far sideline. So we've seen Hooks make a great catch tonight. We've seen Travion Moore and Jarek Scales each make a couple of catches.
Miner wasn't in there, was he?
No, we have not seen Carl Miner back into the game. We didn't see Cam Turner back into the game either. Again, MJ Vance was standing back there ready to take the snap. So I don't know, I don't know what's going on over there with the Seminole sideline, or if they had a problem with Cam Turner or Miner.
The only thing the fact that we haven't seen him throw the ball yet tonight is some type of double pass. That was just my initial thought, but this is obviously something that they have prepared for this week, some type of desperation. That may have been a trick play that we were going to see on 3rd and 10, but let's see if they just run it back and try to have better execution right here.
Yeah, gonna have to break out the trick playbook here on 4th down. Here we go. Another low snap, trying to pick it up and run with it, trying to throw it deep down the field, tipped up and incomplete. And that should end the ball game. The Chickasaws will come away with their 5th win in a row. And in such dramatic fashion, you got 2 players out here who are both appear to be suffering from cramps. And again, you take a look at MJ Vance, just winds up and tries to give his guys a shot at catching it. Granted, it went off the fingertips of one of his receivers, but fell harmlessly to the turf, and the Chickasaws have an opportunity to now take a knee and run this one out. I don't know if Osceola has 1 timeout remaining. I don't know if they'll call it.
I don't expect they'll call it, but just a great effort from both sides tonight. I think if you want to take anything positive away for Coach Hooks or Coach Fisher, you had 2 teams tonight full of young men that gave everything they had and then some. They absolutely gave everything they had, put everything out on the line. You see, I would say half of each team with cramps, getting stretched, and then they just go back out on the field and they give 100% with what they have available. And yes, there's been some penalties. Yeah, there's been some poor decisions as far as throws being made and interceptions, but I can see on the near sideline Blytheville players and their fans are dancing and celebrating that they know they've got this thing wrapped up.
Yeah, everything's left to do but just take a knee and run out the clock. And, Jaheim Carter led this team the entire game on offense at quarterback, but he's not going to get to finish the game out. Well, maybe he is. I thought it looked like they were in the kneel down position, and he's going to kneel down from the shotgun position. I was going to say he injured that leg earlier here in the second half, and I didn't know if we were going to get to see him take the victory knee or not, but it appears both teams going to let the clock run out. So the first game of the 2018 football season is in the books here in Blytheville. The Chickasaws will hold on in a close one against their rival, the Osceola Seminoles, a final score of 26-21. Man, this one was a great one to be a part of, and we certainly appreciate everybody on Facebook joining in with us. This one was great. Again, we want to thank tonight's sponsors, First National Bank and Hubbard & Hoke. Guys, we're going to take a very quick break and come back and wrap this one up for you, put a bow on it, and tell you a little bit about next week's game, Valley View and West Memphis. Quite a matchup that one is going to be. But we'll come back here and wrap up Blytheville and Osceola right after this. You're watching Prep Football on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
You live. We put you first. Introducing You First Banking, only at First National Bank.
You've got a lot of choices when you buy home furnishings. There are many reasons to choose Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
At Hubbard & Hope, you'll find a great selection of furniture, appliances, bedding, and electronics with outstanding service, 6 ways to finance your purchase, and free local delivery.
Plus, you'll get a great deal every day on name brands you know and trust.
Great deals, outstanding service, and free delivery. You're going to love
Hubbard & Hope Furniture, Blytheville and Osceola.
Welcome back to Blytheville. Andy Maness and Ryan Short here with you to wrap things up from Haley Field and Chickasaw Stadium. What a game tonight for week number 1 of our coverage here in Arkansas. 26-21 the final score between Blytheville and Osceola. The Chickasaws escape their home field tonight with a win, and I say that you know, you got to give all the credit to their defense, really, because Osceola had a couple of shots at the end of the game to go up on top, and that defense for the Chickasaws just held strong.
Yeah, I mean, I can't reiterate enough just the pure athleticism we saw from both teams tonight, and just the fight that both these teams had. That they, you can tell they're geared up, and it's their first games of the regular season, and they're excited. And I really anticipate that from this, you're going to see a Chickasaw and Seminole team that really hit their stride in 2018. I know that there's a lot of anticipation for Coach Hooks and the Seminoles. They're expecting a lot from that group of young men, but then also Blytheville had a rough go of it last year, but I mean, looking to do some damage here in the 5A East.
Yeah, and again, I misspoke at the end of that break. I said that our next game was going to be Valley View and West Memphis. That's not correct. It's going to be Valley View at Rivercrest, so that's a little bit better. So again, we're going to be down the road in Wilson, not at the Cotton Patch anymore, because the Colts have got a new stadium to the 3A3 state champions, and moving up to the 4A this year, and going to have their kind of test that conference strength against Valley View next week. So that ought to be a really interesting matchup. When going back here tonight, you're absolutely right about the athleticism between both of these two teams. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch what happens to these two teams later on in the season, especially we know how Osceola finished their year last year after losing this first game to Blytheville. They lost that game in a close one to Blytheville last year and wound up rattling off 8 in a row, and then found themselves in the semifinals of the state championship. So you wonder if that could be their path again this year. Next week, a tough matchup against Gosnell.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so far they basically split that series. The records I have are 8-8 all time. So look for that to be a really monumental game for both teams to come out and try to get started on the right foot. I don't have any scores on how that Gosnell game went this evening, but we'll be paying attention to that as the week goes on to see how they fare going into next week.
Yeah, and speaking of West Memphis, they're going to be coming here to Blytheville to face the Chickasaws. The Chickasaws have got a bit of a tall task ahead of them in their next 3 games. They faced West Memphis, they face Marion, and then they face Wynn. Luckily for them, all 3 of those games are going to be right here in Blytheville, so they'll at least have home field advantage. But then, you talk about how tough those 3 games are. Then they face off against Nettleton the week after that on the road.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are going to have a tall task ahead of them. The 5A East, the whole 5A conference in Arkansas has always fared to be a difficult one to get out of. I mean, you talk about powerhouses like Pulaski Academy and Little Rock, and then you go back a few years, Greenwood used to be in the 5A conference. They've now promoted up, but I mean, it's a tough road for any team of this size in Arkansas, and they're definitely going to have to come bootstrapped and ready to go next week as they face West Memphis. I believe it was 2 years ago we were here actually covering that game back when this was a grass field.
Yeah, they'll be riding pretty high after tonight's win against their rival, the Osceola Seminoles. Again, the final score tonight, 26-21. we're getting ready to wrap things up here from Blytheville. Thanks to everybody who made tonight's game possible. Again, thanks to our sponsors, First National Bank and Hubbard and Hoke. Could not do this game without them. And, of course, make sure you follow us on social media on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for Tubetown Online. Thanks again to all of our graphics operators, our camera operators, and, of course, our executive producer, Marcus Carlton. For Ryan Short, I'm Andy Manus, signing off for this evening, saying so long and God bless. Y'all have a great weekend.